And welcome aboard here, Tallahassee Live, here on all the various Tallahassee Soccer Club medias, tlhsoccer.com, the YouTube, the tubes lighting up here this evening, and of course, local terrestrial radio here on Real Talk 93.3 in the greater Tallahassee area. I'm Andrew Jupe, alongside Trenton Young, James Ward, and Joe Ward, bringing you the action today. Match day 4 for your boys in gold and black. And we should see a little excitement as far as the black is concerned when you talk about the uniforms, Trent. Making some history on the front end. We'll get to that a little later. But, Trent, huge matchup. We want to get to it. Your initial feels. We got one of the big dogs in the house, of course. One of the top teams in the nation, number 14 in the nation from last year, and top 2 team in the conference. They won the conference in 2021. Huge opponent. One of the big dogs, Trent. Southern States Soccer Club, coming out from just outside Hattiesburg, Mississippi, about 5.5 hours to our west.
Yeah, they're one of the perennial top dogs, like you said, in this conference year in and year out, up there with Jacksonville. And they actually tied Jacksonville 2 weeks ago, 1-1 in Jacksonville. So a team that obviously can hang with the best, one of the best teams. Jacksonville is ranked number 1 out of 96 NPSL teams during the regular season last year. So, like you said, Southern States themselves were ranked 12th. So a very, very esteemed program that we'll be facing today, Andrew Jupe. But I'm excited. There's going to be some new faces out here for the Tallahassee Battle Lions. We'll get to see some players that we've heard a lot about the last couple of weeks, months, and they're finally going to be here and showcasing their talents for us in the black and gold. So, yeah, man, this is a big one. Tallahassee currently tied for first in the conference. So hopefully we can go ahead and get 3 more points and keep rolling.
Absolutely, Trent, as of course we will get to the table in just a moment, because I don't want to get into it and then have to jump away from it. So we'll try to keep it streamlined, try to keep the communication as linear as possible, though we will talk in circles. Just so much passion exuding for our boys in the black and gold. And just so you know, Trent, we kind of hinted at it. First time ever, we're going blackout here at Gene Cox Stadium, the all-black uniforms. Some call them the Oregon of the Gulf Coast Conference here, Trent, breaking out all kind of uniform combinations. We got the all-white business attire last week on the road for the road trip, and coming back home going with the blackout. Hot day. Luckily, the sun has subsided a little bit here, Trent, so it's not as brutal as it was here this afternoon. But, of course, it'll be a nice-looking uniform, man. It is sharp, and I love a good blackout uni, man.
Absolutely. Excited to see this one. We donned a new jersey last week as well, a new kit. That was the all-white that we sported in Pensacola, so I'll be excited to see that one later this year. But, yeah, it'll certainly be a treat for those who decide to make it on out here to the Gene Cox Stadium tonight for this big game. So, obviously, we've got a lot to play for, as we said earlier. And, a little over 20 minutes to go until kickoff.
There you go. I was waiting for Oldfields to come in. They are scheduled to make their march in, Trent. We understand if they're running late, here we get it, right? We are very understanding of how things go here in the modern, small, lower leagues, we'll call it, the lower league soccer scene here, Trent. But one thing you should understand if you're a fan at home is what exactly the situation here it is on TSC Live. Of course, we want to make sure that you're completely aware of the situation, whether you are tuning in from near or far. And we want to make sure to issue the trigger warning. Of course, this is a local radio broadcast, which means it is pro TSC. This is sourced by the team, for the team, and the greater fan base. So if you are tuning in from Hattiesburg or Mississippi, or you are rooting for the boys in, I guess they're wearing red here today, we will give respect to your team. But just so you know, this is a pro TSC broadcast, my goodness. And so we will be treated as such. So you are very, very welcome. If you pull up, or you're on the YouTube feed or the website, bottom left corner, if you kind of hover over it, there's a little speaker, and you can always hit the mute button. Feel free. It's America. You can do whatever you want. But just so you know, you have been warned. Pro TSC podcast broadcast coming here today. So, Trent, one thing we talked about here as far as the table, and I'm waiting on our boys, but it looks like we're just have to keep rolling on without them. The show is going to go on here in the pregame of the Southern States and the Tallahassee here situation. But, of course, Trenton, let's keep it rolling. You talked about the table, what we have here today. So a couple different angles you can point out. So you talked about being tied for first on that raw point side, which is true. And so a lot of discussion is being made where you want to position yourselves. Of course, official, where the conference stands is on a points per match situation here, Trent. So based on how many points you have divided by how many matches you have played. So you can see there, TSC sitting right there at fourth. But, of course, that is on a points per match situation. They are tied for first, like you said, on raw match points. So we know there's a lot of complicated numbers here, but TSC still undefeated on the season, 1 win and 2 ties. So, Trent, they're ahead of schedule. They've already doubled the amount of points that they had last year. So the trajectory is up in 2023 based on the previous 2 years. Any comments to things on the table? Obviously, we're super early in the season. We just surpassed the 25% mark. If this was a business, Trent, we're just into quarter 1. So now cascading into quarter 2 here of the business situation. But any thoughts here on the table as a whole?
Yeah, well, so Pensacola and Southern States, they still have a game in hand on us. So obviously it's not quite a third of the way through the season for them yet. So I would just like to say that they obviously potentially could, be where we are, where Jacksonville's at, obviously, given another game. So that's why this game is so important, because Southern States is going to have another game that's going to be able to catch up to us. So even if we were to just draw this game with them and prevent them from getting 3 points and, potentially give them a better run for their money next time we're on the road against them in Hattiesburg, then that would certainly be an outcome I could live with here tonight. So I'm just really excited to see how this new team, this Battle Line team that only has a handful of players returning from last year, very, very new roster all around. I'm just excited to see how they're going to be able to face Southern States, and a team that's been together for a few seasons now. A lot of their main players are still around, and Mason Walsh, he's a player that came from New Orleans a few seasons ago, and they've kind of handpicked a couple other players from a few other teams here in the conference. So they've, the rich get richer, we shall say, Andrew Juve. So, yeah, I'm just excited to see how our new fresh bunch is able to go ahead and hold our own against them tonight.
Absolutely, Trent. And, of course, you talked about the new bunch, new mentality, and that is the Battle Line mentality here in the Coach Joel DeCastri era. So, Trent, we can't ignore the history, right? So, of course, we won't know where we're going until we know where we've been. Mm-hmm. And so a quick history lesson for those. It's not pretty, but we can't change history. We can only change the future. A little trouble on the home front. Big loss to Southern States the first time we played them 3-0 here in Tallahassee in 2021. So you can see kind of the results over the last couple years. Yet to score against Southern States is the only franchise in the Gulf Coast Conference we have never scored, including the defunct organizations. Port City and AFC Mobile, our former brothers, rest in peace. But, of course, the only organization can score against Jacksonville, can score against New Orleans, yet to score against Southern States, and obviously that translates. Never had a result against Southern States. So potential for history in the making here, Trent. But that's, of course, bringing you up to date on where we've been. But like you said, so many more changes. I know a lot of you people want to talk about the cup, the biggest, baddest cup in the land. It's not on the table here right now. But just so you know, A50 Cup, lighten up the social media the last couple weeks. TSC and PFC tied on points. But, of course, the goal differential going to Pensacola Football Club. They are the 2-time reigning champs. And, of course, we look at the schedule, Trent. So the way this has shaken down with, of course, the teams getting matched up against each other, going forward with the result, we've both beaten the Roots. So regardless of what the Roots do on the other side, it will be determined here at the Gene. Mm-hmm. The season finale on June 28th, the A50 Cup will be handed out. all three teams still in the mix. If the Roots win the next 2 games and we tie Pensacola, then the Roots could still win the Cup. On the other side, regardless of the results, even if we both lose or Pensacola gets up to 7 points and we're still at 4, we could still beat them and beat them on goal differential to get to that 7 and still take the Cup. So regardless of what happens in the next 2 games with the Roots and Pensacola and then the Roots at TSC, there's no situation where the Cup is not decided. Well, that's not true. It will be decided inevitably on the 28th, and I cannot think of a scenario where that would happen. Because even if Pensacola were to lose and we were to beat the Roots, it would still be the opposite scenario. They could beat us and then beat us on goal differential. So, a lot at stake, blah, 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 all that good stuff.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Absolutely. So, of course, Trent, as we talk about the other exciting things going on here today, make sure to vote. Man of the match, fan vote 60th minute. Voting will go live here, Tallahassee Soccer Club, tlhsoccerclub.com. As you can see right at the top below this stream, if you're watching on the website. If not, blast up that phone, get that thing rolling, vote for your man of the match, and the people will decide what exactly or who exactly is the man of the match. So, excitement is palpable here. We're about 14 minutes from kick. We're going to jump out for a quick commercial break here on TSC Live, the presentation of this beautiful match to come here between your Tallahassee Battle Lions and the Southern States Soccer Club Stars here coming forward. But we're going to jump out for a quick break, come right back on the other side. We'll get some updates for these teams and a little bit of the fresh faces here on this new look Battle Lion squad. For Andrew Duke, Trenton Young, James Ward, Joe Ward, come right on back.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
When we approach an issue, we approach the issue as one entity.
Our team comes from all types of unique backgrounds. In any given session, there's probably not an issue that some member of our team isn't involved in.
When folks in government are interacting with our firm, they can always be assured that the individual who's talking with them is pushing the policy that they truly believe is the best and right policy.
We have such a wide variety of areas of expertise. Rarely do issues fall just in one silo. Having people who can address all the different parts of the problem is a big win.
The difference in our firm is we truly are a team.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs. From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
When we approach an issue, we approach the issue as one entity.
Our team comes from all types of unique backgrounds. In any given session, there's probably not an issue that some member of our team isn't involved in.
When folks in government are interacting with our firm, they can always be assured that the individual who's talking with them is pushing the policy that they truly believe is the best and right policy.
We have such a wide variety of areas of expertise. Rarely do issues fall just in one silo. Having people who can address all the different parts of the problem is a big win.
The difference in our firm is we truly are a team.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs. From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
When we approach an issue, we approach the issue as one entity.
Our team comes from all types of unique backgrounds. In any given session, there's probably not an issue that some member of our team isn't involved in.
When folks in government are interacting with our firm, they can always be assured that the individual who's talking with them is pushing the policy that they truly believe is the best and right policy.
We have such a wide variety of areas of expertise. Rarely do issues fall just in one silo. Having people who can address all the different parts of the problem is a big win.
The difference in our firm is we truly are a team.
And welcome back here, getting ready for the pregame. As you can hear, the sirens off and rolling here at the Gene Cox Stadium. Andrew Droop, Trent Young, Joe Ward, James Ward back in at it for you here today. and an exciting matchup if you are just joining us. Here, of course, the pregame for the Southern States and Tallahassee Bateau Lions. So, of course, you can see it going here. We're getting ready for the national anthem from the Tallahassee Young Actors Theater, Megan Stokely. So we're going to give way to the field mic here. Woo! All right. Go on, Megan. Get you some. How bad at Trent? National anthem getting ready to rock and roll. And you know what that means. Under 3 minutes to go here for kickoff at the Jane Cox Stadium. Exciting, exciting, exciting stuff here, Trent. We're getting ready for the starting lineups here, so I don't know if we'll have enough time to squeeze this in. We'll get to it at halftime, I guess. Just highlighting some of our returning players, some new faces. But, of course, we got the starting lineups getting ready to go here for TSC. Rafa Alcalea, number 4. Oh, and that's the gold star, the road warrior. He's scored on all the road games. Can he do it at home? Stafford Dowling.
And he's assisted.
There you go.
Don't forget, he's got 2 assists in both of those away games.
Kevin Lowe, the big bad man from the University of San Francisco. Alejandro Padilla. Of course, the new man coming in from Sacramento State. Connor Perry, of course, the workhorse, the Englishman. Zuri, our boy. Of course, backline, Tri Smith. Matt Wallace, of course, the former UNC Charlotte man. Oh, and here's the Canadian national we've been very, very excited about, Mark Quadio from Montreal Trent. And this man, if you've seen anything from the University of Dayton, is very exciting to watch in goal, and it'll be fun to see him go forward here for this one. And about as exciting as it gets, Battle Lions, Trenton.
Yeah, he's the keeper that we've been kind of looking for, that de facto number 1. Last year it was Bosco Perry, the year before Grant Wallum. Now all signs pointing to Mark, you know, with his experience with the Canadian national team, and he's played at Dayton the last 2 seasons. He's going to be at Eastern Tennessee, so certainly a player that has a very high pedigree, has played at a very high level already. So, yeah, really excited to see him get out there and don that pink uniform. And, man, those black unis are looking sharp tonight. I really like how they kind of have the hollowed out, white outlined numbers on the bat. That's pretty sharp.
Absolutely. Of course, Southern State's in all red. Starters are going to be Peralta, Harrison, Davies, De Gracia Gonzalez, Hernando, Adams, Jorge, and Hoyos. And there's a couple more that we're still getting these updates coming here. But we'll keep them up to date as we keep on rolling. But TSC and Southern State's on a points per match basis, it's number 2, Southern State's in number 4, TSC in the table. And Old Foes off and rolling here. And Southern State's wants to get off, and Quadio coming off of his line, and he'll have to get things organized early and often here, Trent, as this is a little bit more of an intense Southern States than we've seen before. They love to play direct, and they love to get after it. It seems a little more than they have in years past. So I don't know if that's a truth or just maybe what I've seen on film, Trent, but it was a little more direct-looking squad. It falls in the box, right footer off the line. 2 saves by the defense. It looks like Kevin and Zuri with the 1-2 punch, keeping it off the line, and TSC keeping it at zeros early, Trent.
Yeah, all this started just because of that first ball over top and the flick on to Mason Walsh. Definitely a design play, but able to get a couple of opportunities out of that corner.
So Walsh is going to be a provocateur, the former New Orleans Jester, formerly with Chattanooga FC. Of course, an elder statesman here. In his late 20s, had some good experience. He's dangerous. He's been playing more on the right side, Trent. If you remember the last couple of years, it seems like Walsh was kind of on the left. He does have a lot of flexibility within this formation to go as he may, as we have one going from the backside. And this is the Southern States long balls that we talked about here in the pregame. Sent over the top, and nobody home here for Southern States. TSC is going to let this one roll, clear it out and over top. But to be collected here by the Stars. Send it over the top again. Quadio up to it about 8 yards from goal. And you can see the long ball, the directness, and Southern States isn't going to do what they did last time they were here in Tallahassee, where we kept them scoreless for quite some time in a sloppy game. They're going right after it, and they're not leaving anything to chance here. It's going to be a foul called on the opposite side. Looks like they're going to tag up Dowling over on the far side. The former University of Charleston man. Like you said, Trent, 2 goals on the road, couple assists, and my main man has been absolutely rolling here. Him and Connor Perry up top has been dangerous.
It sure has, Jupe, and it was an absolutely disgusting ball, that first assist he had against the Roots. He was able to turn his back and hold up play against the center back and found a Kevin Lowe, a darting Kevin Lowe, going into the box.
There's our boy Johnny Fitzgerald winning the header. Second ball's going to go to Southern States. Zuri, great step. That is the Mason Walsh we talked about. Quadio, and there's the big frame going up to it. He's going to look to dish early, and a little run out for TSC as they'll get out of the defensive third on the throw out. Fitzgerald will cycle it back around, calmly back and distribute it up over the top for Trey Smith, who's had a great effort here on that back line here today. Or excuse me, here this season, my mistake. And so, of course, the back line is going to be Smith, Rafa, Alcalea, and then, of course, the new man, Alejandro Barilla. And here comes Stafford Dowling with a left foot, trying to put it back on his right. Shot attempt deflected, and we'll roll into Peralta, the Paraguayan national, in between the pipes here for Southern States.
That was a huge throw down line from Bilal, able to get a 1-2 off of Stafford to Johnny and then back to Stafford through. That was beautiful.
Long clearance over the top for Peralta, and it'll be dealt with here by Trey Smith. This one's kind of thrown back, and they'll look to cycle around here for TSC. As we keep things rolling around here all the way back, and this is Peralta. He's very confident on the ball, Trent, so he will come out and look to distribute. He's got no fear coming out and working with his feet. Of course, a highly successful keeper with UNC Wilmington. What a beautiful slide here over the near side. I believe that's Jimenez coming in and delivering the beautiful takeaway here for TSC. No, excuse me, that's our new guy, Bilal Mayalbi. An exciting new addition here for TSC, just coming in the last couple weeks.
Big switch.
Also from Montreal, friends with Mark. at Cal State Bakersfield. He's a road runner. Second on the team in minutes, and Mayalbi, very exciting player, will be slotted in, like we said, to this midfield, Trent. Pressure on Peralta. There's Fitzgerald. As Mason Walsh with a little turnabout as he goes about midfield. Southern State's on the ball. Quick 1-2. They'll look turn and plays. That's Villafañe with some touches and looking to get up top, looking for Hoyos.
You saw that entire attack was right through Mason Walsh there. He was able to get it from the back line, play the ball forward, receive it, play it through. Luckily, keeper was able to come out and time that perfectly and go ahead and scoop that up so it wasn't a chance anymore. But big ball over top from Mark.
Yeah, Villafañe, he's one of those stolen goods. Of course, former Roots player from last year, if you remember him. He gave us some problems there in the midfield. This time he's in red. Of course, here with Southern States. That's going to go out of play.
We'll take it.
And, of course, usually when we play, this is a team struggling to chase points and a team who's at the top of the table. But both these teams in the upper crust here of the league here early this season. Of course, the third year for both teams in the MPSL. And here's Mayalbi. And he'll be out, I believe, for a TSC corner. And our boy Kev's going to go in and take that one.
And Stafford's so strong on the ball in the attacking third. He's able to hold up play with his back turned and find the open teammates and drop it off and turn around and make a run. And that's just something we haven't seen the last season or so with Tallahassee, that dangerous, explosive forward. So very, very excited to see what he can do against these Southern Stars tonight. What do we have going on here, Jude?
And here we got a little scruffling. These two teams played a crazy physical battle the last time they were here at the Gene Trenton, so I assume this will be no different. So here comes Kevin Lowe with the delivery, right-footed in. Swinger is going to be met at the near post, about 6 yards out. Southern States is going to look to break. Walsh here coming near side. Look for chip over the top on the backside for Hoyos. And it'll be a wayward ball that'll go to the outside. He'll be pursued by Mayalbi. And track back around here for Southern States as they look to regroup. But you can see, Trent, a lot more offensive and aggressive Southern States. There's not that absorb that we've seen and then try to break out. They're ready to rock and roll, and they want to get started early and often.
It looks like they're playing three true center backs and really deploying those wingers that are getting way up into the attacking third, our defensive third.
And so watch on this left side, we could catch him napping. Vandersteen, he scored a goal, I believe, against Jacksonville, number 4. He will try to go up and make some runs, so potentially if we get a turnover or win one back in the midfield, try to maybe execute here for number 4, but he's a beast, Trent. He had a nasty header. That's one thing that Southern States is going to focus, a lot of size in the back. Davies is one of those big guys as well. On set plays, they will try to burn you. Here comes some pressure on Peralta. Stafford, Dowling giving him chase. How about Connor Perry, the workhorse over on the far side, hassling that Southern States defense. Johnny Fitzgerald flanking up, and here comes the pressure, trying to back Southern States into the corner. Little bit of trouble. They're going to go cross to the Vandersteen, the guy we were just talking about, and clearance over the top here for Southern States. The long ball needed, tracking back to it. Excellently done. Alcalea, with the Meg coming back across over to Zuri Robertson with some nice control off to the new man, Alejandro Padilla, who we're told is recovering from a fractured nose, is what the word around has been. And so he's giving a Warriors effort out there tonight, fitting right in this battle line mentality. Throw in here to Johnny Fitzgerald, dispossessed by Southern States, and they will cycle around here the back line. That's Vandersteen. Feeds it up into the midfield for Villafañe. Pressure from Johnny Fitzgerald, towering ball, a lot of backspin. Met well here by Smith. And be headed out of play over here on the near side. Be a throw in now to your Battle Lions. Zuri's going to take this one. Of course, the former Florida High man. All over Stafford Dowling is Vandersteen.
But he had to make that foul, right? Because if he doesn't, Staff's in.
Yeah.
which is what we want, obviously.
Great
Smart
positioning.
foul,
Great positioning. And here goes Walsh. He's never shied away from a confrontation or a conversation here in front of the free kick. Kevin Lowe here near side, getting ready to take it. Our big San Fran man, Perry, coming here, a nice little run. Service is going to go to the corner of the 6. That's our big defenseman, Padilla. Get back. We need some coverage here. Zuri getting into the challenge, and looks like they're going to hold that one up. They didn't like that challenge, but I'm okay with that. Like we said, give Padilla and the rest of the defense an opportunity to get back, because a lot of our size is on the back line here, Trent. So in those situations, TSC potentially an opportunity to get caught with their pants down a little bit as we are flooding all those guys forward. It was a nice rotation, and I like the bailout there for Zuri to get back and make sure we're secure
Kevin.
in the early going. Slide from Kalo, and that one's going to get rung up. Looking to hit Wallace there on the transition. Southern States going to get us rolling once again. Yeah, like we said, Vandersteen with the goal here for Southern States back against Jacksonville. He's on the ball now. They drew 1-1 as we did with Jacksonville. This one's going to be cleared out here with Vandersteen. So if A and B are both 1-1, and you'd think C would be 1-1 as well, all right, Trent?
One
A
would
little
assume.
Pythagorean theorem
Yeah.
at play here. We'll see how that fades out here for the Gulf Coast Conference. Speaking of Jacksonville, they're battling Pensacola. That game currently live over there, and we'll try to get some score updates going for you. According to their feed, it's still 0-0. They're in the 9th minute, so a couple minutes behind us here at the Gene. And then about 8 o'clock, New Orleans and the Roots will be kicking off, so we'll try to keep you updated on that once that game goes live. Padilla with a nice control. K-Love right about the fringe of the defending third. My Albi taken down just short of midfield, and it'll be a TSC free kick right in front of that beautiful TOC bench, the Tallahassee Orthopedic Clinic little post up, the medical facility there. Team behind the team, Trent.
But that's how Southern States is going to play, right, Jude? We're going to have to earn it if we're going to beat them tonight. We're going to have to play physical. We're going to have to take some of those fouls, and hopefully those turn into yellow cards as the game progresses. But early on, you just got to kind of take your medicine and try to beat them at their game, right?
Absolutely, and that's the one thing that Coach Joel wanted to emphasize. We were able to catch up with them in the Tallahassee Talk podcast here earlier this week. Coach Joel said, hey, we got to make them defend, something that they haven't really had to do against TSC iterations of the past, as Smith is going to take down Walsh, and this may be a careful one here, but often the target of a little extra shoulder, a little extra something is number 11.
Yeah, a little extra. We'll just leave it at that.
So the Gracia Gonzalez and Walsh over the ball here for Southern States. Of course, loading up. 3 about back post, 15 yards out, and then one stray one on the penalty spot. Landed well. It was either Padilla or Dowling tracking back to head that one clear. So it'll be out of play about 20 yards from the goal line. Throw in on the far side, getting ready for Southern States. We hear the Battle Lions chants coming there from Old Fields down to our bottom right here. Willing on your Battle Lions here. Good crowd kind of filling in. Late arriving crowd, as they often are.
Alcalá with a great shield.
Absolutely. Good play by Rafa. He's a fierce player. He'll get after it, Trent. Great defender. He's been fun to watch.
Yeah, absolute workhorse. Reminds me a lot of Jack Chambers. Just very high effort, high IQ type of player. Speaking of Jack Chambers, we'll be seeing him soon, won't we?
Hey. Yeah.
Preview to the Sowegans matchup.
There you go. Shout out.
That'll be a fun one. 4 or 5 familiar faces on that roster at least.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course, a number of former Battle Lions. That one's going on Wednesday in just a couple days. Come right on back. TSC's back at it. Of course, it's a non-conference game as Rafa goes back to chase this one. Of course,
Good stuff.
Quadio thought about coming out and getting that one. Southern State's here on the fringe of the attacking third for them. TSC's defending third, about 30 yards from goal, cycling around, trying to get some service, looking for Hoyos. And Hoyos is often the target there in the middle in both of their previous games.
Great turn.
Against New Orleans and Jacksonville, they tried to feed Hoyos ad nauseum, it seemed. Service, 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 nonstop. He is definitely one of the dangerous men there for Southern States. This one's cycled back here for TSC. Kevin Lowe, about 45 yards from goal, looking for some service over the top in the area of Connor Perry, all the way back to Perota, the Paraguayan goalkeeper here for Southern States. Dowling wants to make sure he's staying organized. Looks like a full court press. Dowling's going afterwards. Pressure out of the back.
Man.
Here comes Perry with the partial takeaway. Southern State's back on top of it. And this is how they poached one of their first goal early against Pensacola. Great defensive play. And they just pressured them out of the back, had a nice takeaway, and was able to turn it into a goal. So I love the intensity the bow lines are coming forward here.
Missouri in hot pursuit there. I'm really liking him on the wing. He's got a lot of speed, able to catch up to some of these players for Southern States.
It's Villafane, the former Roots player. Service into the box, looking for Hoyos again over his head. And it's outside the box. Appeals for handball from Southern States.
I mean, yeah, it was a handball. He had absolutely no time to react, though, so.
This one's service coming centrally, able to distribute, but good track back here. Matt Wallace, one of those elder statesmen here for TSC, and Walsh coming in with two hands to the back and a chop at the ankle. And that's going to be a foul. Good call by this NPSL officiating staff. This one could be served in. Here to Lowe, over to Trice Smith, back to Lowe. Cycle around. Quadillo. Service over the top. One here by Southern States. Jorge will cycle it back to the back line. I believe that's Harrison. Jorge again. Threaded through to Gracia Gonzalez. Now on the perimeter, trying to beat him one-on-one. Beat the big Padilla. Gonna need some help. Alcalaya, beautiful shield as Padilla is able to catch back up. Get that top speed. Chase down that speedster for Southern States over on the far side.
Great recovery from Padilla, from Alcalaya, and from Mark. Quadillo.
And it looks like PFC just picked up a yellow card. Still 0-0, 15th minute over in Jacksonville. Oh, service to Perry.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Let's look, let's look, let's look. So we have the delay broadcast going up here in the press box. Yeah, he's off. That's a good call. Don't like to see it, but that's a good call. We never will know if that disallowed goal from last week, you know, because we couldn't see it based on the stream we were watching. We never know if it was truly offside. Appeals for it, but that's off and gone here.
I thought that looked out.
It'll be a throw-in over our far side here for TSC. Hey, if you want to get on the NPSL for officiating, you lose your breath here, Trent.
Get in line.
So we're not going to get into that. That'll be handled elsewhere. Southern State's on the attack. Dangerous positioning. Beautiful slide. Padilla going to ground. Kalo able to usher it out to Johnny. Looking for some service. He holds up. Beautiful diagonal run here from Dowling. Trying to cut in. Davies bodies him off. Big win here for Southern States. Kalo with the intensity. TSC's got numbers forward. Dowling's got to get back on side. Service from Perry. Bounces back to him. Quarter of the 18. TSC in a dangerous positioning. Going centrally! And a sideways bike for Dowling on the attempt. And it's a no-go. Kick out of the back. And it looks like they're going to get him for offsides. It's Dowling riding the line.
Hey, man.
But how about the sequence? How about the
Yeah.
physicality, the battle line mentality shining through here for TSC in the 20th minute?
Absolutely. That all started in the back with Kevin Lowe not giving up on the play, finding Johnny as he's falling down, and that was able to lead to Kevin Lowe winning the ball again in the attacking third and playing that ball out wide.
A lot of bodies hitting the floor, a lot of effort, and this is what grind 'em out mentality. This is what the underdog season's all about. Of course, good track back here. Slide over the top, my Albie. Oh, and how about the Montreal man with a little bit of world class? How about it?
That was filthy.
First game back here, or first game for my Albie here in TSC. Looking good in the all-black uniform. Shout out to all our viewers from Canada tuning in here today, as of course we have the 2 Canadian players based out here. And it looks like training staff's getting a couple of TSC players up here to warm up.
Interesting.
As you hope that it's not my Albie picking up a knock here.
Hopefully not, but it looks like the trainer is coming over
Yeah,
to just
looks
have a word with him.
Getting some medical attention here over at the near side right about midfield.
One of your boys warming up. Gene Lamongo.
There you go. Jean.
Oh, excuse
Jean
me.
Trent. Spelled Gene.
How could I forget after that informative video?
There you go. TSC 101. Don't forget to take notes. Zuri's going to get us going. So TSC currently, I believe, playing with 10 men as my Albie just 20 minutes into his TSC minute book, having to take a seat on the bench, and his day may be done if he is truly getting subbed out. He's headed back to the locker room. So, of course, MPSL rules, unless you're under concussion protocol, you cannot return to the match. So that may be the end of the road for my Albie. So obviously wishing him the best. He was able to walk up under his own power, which was good to see. You got to think one of the top guys in, you got to think Jimenez or Azar here on that left side would probably be likely candidates to come in here for TSC. Good stretch by Zuri to take that one away. Kalo. Dowling, service to Perry. Perota's going to stay in the box. And so it's way out on the perimeter. Faked it, looking for some reinforcements, and the ball goes a little wayward, skips through about 15 yards out. Southern States looking to roll. Walsh now on it as he escapes the defending third, goes up to midfield. He's hounded by Matt Wallace, the former Charlotte man. Up top and cycle back around. That's Hoyos. Jorge all getting some touches here. For Southern State, service over the top. Quadillo lets it roll, and it'll be a TSC goal kick. It looks like Azar will be the man coming in here.
Dude, Mason Walsh is like Steph Curry off the ball. Like the way that he just releases the ball and then makes a run and just immediately is looking for the pass and the ball over top. I mean, he's a threat the whole game long. I believe he got subbed out in like the 70th, 80th minute last year, so hopefully he can get subbed out a little bit earlier this year, make it easier for our Battle Lions. But
there you go. Just getting an update from Jacksonville. PFC on the score sheet, 20th minute, and the Pelicans lead Jacksonville 1-0. PFC on points per match. They are top of the table right now. So trying to stay there out in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has not suffered a loss in conference play since the 2021 season. So this is wild development out in PFC. But, Trent, I know you're loading up for it.
Yeah, however, least we forget, this is the Jacksonville team last year who made a ton of substitutions just about every halftime. They were definitely known as a second-half team, kind of keeping some of those cards a little closer to their chest for the second half, saving some of their better players. So it's a long 90 minutes. It's going to go down tonight in Jacksonville.
There you go, over there just off the river at Bishop Kenny High School. Yeah, of course, Coach Krasanovich over there at Jacksonville, known for his halftime adjustments there. So I think Pensacola last year went up 1-0 at halftime. And it was a big deal, right? People were going off. Then Jacksonville put 4 or 5 on them in the second half and ran away with it. But we'll keep you posted on that one. But just wanted to give you the update. PFC with the advantage over Jacksonville. Service coming through. Hoyos trying to go top shelf on the near post. He'll sail it, be out for a TSC goal kick.
Yeah, trying to cross that one back post, just didn't quite get his hips around it. Couldn't curve that one back into play. And we'll have another goal kick here. Mark's got a decent leg. He's been able to get it up right at midfield, which honestly I think that's really all you can ask for a goalkeeper.
There you go.
Anything on top of that is just icing on the cake.
And we got 2 balls on the field right now. The ball boy gets it, so we're all good. First one won by Davies. Hoyos with some service out wide into the defending third here for TSC. Southern State's on the attack. A little drop on off and swing her around. Davies touched back by midfield. Vandersteen. Walsh. He's hounded by Trice Smith and Stafford Dowling. Staff does nice to poke it free of Walsh here. Be a Southern State throw-in. That's Coach Carl Reynolds here on the near side for Southern State's in his 3rd year. I was hoping for the striped pants, but he's keeping a little formal on the road today. Known for rocking the pants all the time, Coach Reynolds. May see him at the local watering hole like we did last year after the game. Okay. Shot on goal, and he's going to be offsides. That one was Adams here near side for Southern State's. Caught off about 20 yards from goal here. So our goalkeeper, Quadillo, the Dayton man, headed for East Tennessee State this coming year. If you got the chance, check out that Dayton highlight reel. It is captivating. Stolen on the far side, Harrison. Cycle back around, hounded by Zuri. About 25 yards from goal. Southern State's now will get it a little deeper here. Way on the perimeter of the field over on the far side. Service coming into the box. Trice Smith, first man to the seam. Toppling over the top. Stafford Dowling with a nice pursuit. And headed back around. Davies will cycle it over to the far side. Hernando, some service up to the front line. Looking for Hoyos. Arid pass will go to Matt Wallace at TSC. Over to Johnny Fitzgerald on the nice square ball. Beautiful overlapping run. Here comes my Albie. He's back. So we did not make the substitution. So he went to the locker room. Whatever was needed to be taken care of was taken care of. And he's back at it. Kalo. Back to my Albie. Back to Trice. All the way back to Quadillo. And pressure from Hoyo. So get it out of danger. Matt Wallace. Hounded here, some service and offside, so Hoyos lets that one go all the way to Quadillo back around the goal line. So inside the box defensively, TSC is going to get the service rolling. Over the top, hits Stafford Dowling. Is that offsides or is that a foul? It looks like they're calling Dowling off.
Wow.
He's none too pleased with that one.
It's tough.
Looks over to the referee, the Charleston man.
I'll try to keep a better eye on that for us tonight, Andrew.
There you go. Hit the back line. But yeah, Dowlin's been a beast for TSC so far this year, like we talked about. I believe it's, 2 goals, 2 assists?
Yep, in both of those away games. 1 goal and 1 assist each against the Roots and then against the Pelicans on the road.
There you go. So he's been involved in 4 of the 5 goals here for TSC. This one's going to be deflected out of play there. And he might have even been involved in that Kalo late one here. We'll have to go back and watch the film. I'm going to give Staff credit. He may be involved in all 5. How about it? So blasted out of the back here as we get going for TSC. Dowling hounded again by the big Davies. Cycled through to Gracia Gonzalez. Harrison. A lot of stuff in the air. Bounces, ball to hand. They let that one go, as they did for TSC. So 1 each way. Letting them play a little bit. A little physicality in the air. Hoyos gives Alcalá a bump. It'll be a free kick here for TSC. Quadillo We'll take that here for your Battle Lions. Still 1-0. Pensacola leads Jacksonville. 27th minute out east, out on the first coast. Big kick looking for Dowling. Won by Vandersteen. Walsh and Smith going at it. Seems to be a common theme emerging here on the near side. Left side of TSC's defense, right side of the attack here for Southern States. Myalby and Walsh exchange words here.
Love that.
The English and Canadian nationals, respectively. Walsh from Southampton. A lot of Southampton guys on that Southern States club. Evidently, Coach Reynolds is from about an hour and a half north of Southampton, so there's got to be some kind of connection here, getting into his roots.
I see what you did there.
Of course, there's a pipeline there, William Carey University over there in Hattiesburg, where a lot of these guys seem to be sharing colors between William Carey in the red, and then Southern States, of course, their alternative uniforms here in the red. All over Johnny on the far side there. I can't get the number. Was that Harrison? Was it number 3? Oh, no, it's Davies. They're the big
Yeah, he
guy
was
way
way
up
up
there. Yeah. How about it? Padilla back with it here for TSC. 31st minute, Trent sitting on zeros. Not atypical of Southern State's TSC games here at the Gene over the last 2 seasons. First 1-1 here by
Kevin.
Hernando. K-Love gets it down to Johnny. He's got options. 4-on-5. Perimeter to Myalby. He's putting in work. Back to Connor Perry. A little heavy foot there. We'll go out here to the near side.
Ran out of real estate, unfortunately. That was a good possession.
Mm-hmm. Throw in here for Southern States. Hoyos. Walsh. Back to Hoyos. Prodding attack here. Alcalea. They say play on the contact, but TSC able to regroup here defensively. Cycled out to the perimeter. Re-entered. Once again, looking for Hoyos. Good step by Trice. Myalby. Beautiful touch. Spring load the offense. Back to Perry. Back to Myalby. Chop down. They say play on. Walsh and Fitzgerald go after it. Cycled outside. Good win by Trice Smith. Kalo is going to pick it up about 30 yards from frame or try to escape our defensive third here. Out the Padilla. Sends it back to the near side here to Fitzgerald. Pressure here from Southern States. Wallace, good distribution out here to Perry. He's got Kalo doing a diagonal run near side. Myalby also on the line. Dowling cycles back around midfield. Good entry pass. Dowling's double teamed here, and Southern States will poke it free, knock it around the back line. Vandersteen, Harrison, Davies getting some touches back there. Here for the Stars of Southern States.
TSC playing very free-flowing football right now. Stafford was kind of dropping back more in the center. Johnny pushing up in the attack. Bilal was playing up as like a striker. So I really just like how there aren't necessarily defined positions. We just kind of fill in the gaps and go where we're needed.
There's the versatility. Kayla, beautiful service back to Perry. He's got Dowling and Fitzgerald in the box. Into the 18 near side. Back for Dowling. He tips it through Fitzgerald on the back, but can't hit him. And here comes a counterattack potentially. Matt Wallace getting on the horse, trying to chase down Walsh. And a couple of the elder statesmen on each side. Retreat over here to the near sideline. Walsh coming centrally. Rip! Looking for that back post. Claudio up to the task here for TSC. And the East Tennessee State man on top of it.
So, yeah, somebody's got to step there. He'll have that shot all day long. I know, obviously, he's more dangerous on the right, but, I mean, still there was nobody probably within 3 or 4 yards, and he was able to put that shot on target. Definitely not the player you want to be taking shots on the top of the box uncontested. Mason Walsh.
There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. So 34th minute, still scoreless here for the Gene, but TSC got to stay on their P's and Q's, finish the half strong. It's been a tough punchline here just before and just after halftimes against Southern States, getting burned with a late goal going into the locker room. TSC has trailed 1-0 their last 2 matches, able to recover against the Roots and against Pensacola to get results in both of those contests. through 3 matches. TSC still unbeaten. Wayward pass is going to be taken away by Perry. He'll slowly look to recollect here. Trice Smith, service over the top, looking for Dowley. Poked through by Davies. Back to Southern States. K-Low with a little poke free here as Hoyos tries to turn, controls it with his hand. They say play on. And Walsh with a centering ball. Beautiful slide there by Trice Smith. And it'll be out for a corner here near side. Here for Southern States. Wild situation, though, but great little effort there by TSC. Cover it up and keep us where we are here, Trent. 35th minute, 0-0. There's a lefty coming over here near side. DeGracia Gonzalez with some service. Lefty in swinger going way over the top. Second ball in, Padilla will clear. Connor Perry giving chase. Harrison will collect here for Southern States all the way back to Perota. Like we talked about, 40 yards from goal.
Not that far back.
The confident goalkeeper way out. And you will see it if you look at him from his film previously with UNC Wilmington. He loves to come out and distribute, man. He's very confident with the feet. Cycled back around here to the perimeter for Southern State. Zuri Robinson, fantastic positioning. And the former Roots player, Villafañe, all over him.
What? He's calling out against Zuri? No
Zuri was
way.
positioning the ball and
wow, I don't.
yeah, wow. 36 minute free kick here coming from Southern States, and dangerous free kick last week awarded versus Pensacola. This one here against Southern State's a little bit of an awkward angle. Trent, you almost never get free kicks out here.
No.
This is very weird. So 2-man walls can be Fitzgerald and Lowe. Maybe the 2 shortest TSC players on the
Yeah,
field. I don't know
okay.
if that's the greatest wall, but you got to have the big bodies marking up, right? So Quadrillo sets him up, gets him straight. So the man over the top of the ball. Here's going to be another 7 for Southern States, which we didn't have a 7 on the roster we were given, I don't believe. So we'll check that back. Right-footed delivery. Screamer on the ground going for the near post. Quadrillo up to the task there and keeps it out of trouble here for TSC and keeps it to zeros.
Just what we need. Big, strong hands from our keeper, not afraid to get on the ground quick when he needs to, and that's a decent punt. He gets over the midfield line. Ball regathered by TSC. Stafford gets it, plays it over the top. It just goes wide for Wallace. And that'll be another Southern State's throw. They're back in their defensive third, luckily.
Maybe it was 17. Maybe it was Adams over there because we have no 7 on our roster. So we'll try to double check that when we get the opportunity. 38th minute. Rolling here. The Gulf Coast Conference. The number 2 team in the table, Southern State's going against the number 4 team, Tallahassee Soccer Club. Of course, that's on a points per match basis of the standings. TSC's played 1 more game and has 1 more point than Southern State so far in this young season. Both teams, common opponent of Jacksonville, both teams tying them 1 apiece. Southern State's, of course, had their game on the road, TSC hosting Jacksonville at home to kick off the season, not only in the conference, but in the region. Any non-West Coast team here in the NPSL, they kicked off those matches here as TSC likes to get them rolling in April, Trent. Why wait for the May window when you could get it going in April, baby?
Especially when you got 2 draws 2 years running against the top dog of the league.
There you go. Walsh service going back post. Robinson, and when in doubt, put it out. And it'll be out for a Southern States corner. So TSC, chance to regroup, but an opportunity here for Southern States, 39th minute, as they try to strike. And this is a danger area. This has plagued TSC, and this is a strength of Southern States. Of course, they don't have one of their big guys in Reed, Hakeem Reed, number 19.
Thank goodness they don't have him.
But you look at Vandersteen, you look at Hernando, Definitely some guys with size here for Southern States, and Walsh is going to take this corner, the right-footed in-swinger. Coming 5 yards out, won by TSC. It was either Smith or Robertson able to clear out of danger here as we get to the 40th minute, still scoreless. Pressure from low. It'll go all the way back to Perota, and he'll look to control and distribute. Coming near side, here's Adams. And cycle back around, and it looks like they're trying to get a formational switch here. So TSC not attacking the drop-off, conserving and trying to keep their shape here as we approach the last couple minutes here. 5 and change. I don't think, as this one's played back to Perota. Good settle by the keeper there. That was a one with heat coming back to him. Good pressure by Lowe over on the far side. Now in the attacking half, and they'll let this one skate through. Padilla lets it go all the way back to Quadilla.
But I love that adjustment from Coach Joel, because a lot of times last year in the last 5 minutes and the last 2 minutes of the half, in the first half, we would get a little lackadaisical, not be positioned properly, give up a goal. And so we're just taking the initiative, making sure that isn't an issue tonight. You saw the visible drop back from the majority of the team, and I just am in love with this Joel DeCastri formation that we're playing tonight, this amoeba formation.
41st minute, Southern State on possession here. Southern State's in red, going left to right. TSC in all black, first time ever wearing the all black uniforms here in the 2023 season or ever. Over the top, Quadilla going to come all the way out to the corner of the box, and he'll scoop that one up comfortably here for the Battle Lions. So this one's going to be knocked around here. Walsh will chase down to the corner here for Southern State. Took the drop off, have a player open in the middle of the park. Poor service, and Padilla on top of that one. Looked to settle. De Garcia Gonzalez thought about having that one from about 25, but he cycles it back around, and Southern State keeps possession until they're dispossessed. Fitzgerald a good step. Perry with the takeaway on the fringe of the defending third, trying to escape. They lock it in. Contact as Low hits the turf. Rip! Quadillo on top of that one. Dead center right at him. Beautiful positioning for the East Tennessee State keeper. Takes some air out of the ball here. Throws it down. Gives it a ride. Get into the attacking half. Looking for Zuri or Perry. Low will drop it back off to, excuse me, I was going to say Stafford, but that's Matt Wallace.
So Kevin Lowe gets sandwiched in between 3 players, and I literally saw the center ref shrug, and then that happened. So
Villafane gets chopped down, and Southern State's free kick. Luckily, it's about 54 yards from goal. Football field makes it really easy to tell distances. I do like that. Here on the turf, Southern State's not a company or not used to playing on turf. I'm trying to think. Jax is on natural grass at Bishop Kenny. Southern States is on natural grass. The Roots, when they play at their actual stadium, are on natural grass. And it looks like a offside here for Southern States. Who else are we missing? New Orleans? I think New Orleans is on turf over there at Pan American, if I'm not mistaken. Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, that's also turf. Hey, that's everybody, right? So 2 turfs, including us in Pensacola, and then everybody else I think is natural grass on their typical home facilities. As this one goes out of play over the TOC tent. And it'll be a Southern States throw in. 43rd minute here. Crucial juncture, probably only, if any, going to get maybe about a minute stoppage time in this half. Not many delays to speak of. Mayalbi went down, of course, but they kind of got him in a situation where the ball was over and didn't really go after it. Coming near side, Wallace to Kalo. Looking to cycle through here. Service to Dowling. Dowling's going without a touch for a minute, it looks like. So he's tracking back, trying to get involved, stay involved. Wallace will chase this one down. Southern State's a nice takeaway, looking to counter. And this is a little bit of a hairy scenario for TSC. Played out wide, about 18 yards from goal. Looking for Hoyos! Quadillo with his first big save in the TSC uniform. Up to the task there. That was a very dangerous ball sliding in from the outside. Villafane looking for Hoyos, but up to the task is the goalkeeper making his first start here for TSC this season. Dowling chested down, but one back here by Jorge of Southern States, and we'll cycle back around to Peralta, the fringe of his box. So Southern States will work out of their defending half. Thought about sending it long. Johnny with a little pressure at midfield. Drops it back to Davies, coming near side to Vandersteen. Over midfield here, Villafane, good take, or Jorge, excuse me, good takeaway by Stafford Dowling. Him and Connor Perry tries to thread it through to Perry, gets it to him. Fitzgerald over on the flank in attack there. They'll drop it back off to Wallace. Kalo now cycles back around. He'll dump it off to Trice Smith. Pressure coming, naughty little ball. Pressure coming from behind there on low. Gets it to Perry. He'll look to turn, but will drop off to Wallace. Picks his head up near side to Mayalbi. The speedy perimeter midfield. Kalo, a beautiful run here, the near sideline, about 15 yards from goal. Tries to trip it through to Mayalbi, who fights, trying to get back on top of it. And able to get it back. Quick throw, long one goes into the box to Fitzgerald. He'll take it back out of the box about 30 yards from goal. Square it over to Wallace. Wallace squares it back to Fitzgerald. The old captain with a couple quick touches. Coming off a fantastic season at Akron. Wallace will drop it off to Alcalaya. Cycles it back around to Padilla, the newest man to arrive to TSC from Sacramento State.
My goodness
Another
gracious.
California guy, Kalo, getting beat up again tonight. And yellow shown for Davies.
Yeah, dude.
So he, of course, getting the heat as Lowe is getting knocked around a lot here tonight. And
Dude,
that kind of seems like a common occurrence here this year, and Lowe is still down.
I mean, that's just
40 yards from goal.
That's just kind of the Southern States way of playing. I mean, they're going to play physical until it gets called, and they're going to see how much they can get away with until they can't get away with it anymore. So now they know they can't just cut down Kevin Lowe and try to give him a concussion every time he touches the ball. So
there you go.
Hopefully that subsides.
1 minute stoppage time and then some here so far expired. So you got to think this is probably the last possession for either team. Service going to the corner of the 6-yard box, about 12 yards out. It's going to be headed through, and that is halftime. So that's where you get your break, and we will step out for a break ourselves. 45 minutes home, 45 minutes to go. We're going to jump out, get some radio business, come back with a little quick recap. We'll have stats from our man Joe Ward, but level pegging here 0-0 as we jump over to the break. Southern States and TSC all knotted up. Andrew Joe Ward, James Ward, Trenton Young. TSC live on Real Talk Radio 93.3 here in the Tallahassee area. Come right on back.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
When we approach an issue, we approach the issue as one entity.
Our team comes from all types of unique backgrounds. In any given session, there's probably not an issue that some member of our team isn't involved in.
When folks in government are interacting with our firm, they can always be assured that the individual who's talking with them is pushing the policy that they truly believe is the best and right policy.
We have such a wide variety of areas of expertise. Rarely do issues fall just in one silo. Having people who can address all the different parts of the problem is a big win.
The difference in our firm is we truly are a team.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs. From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
When we approach an issue, we approach the issue as one entity.
Our team comes from all types of unique backgrounds. In any given session, there's probably not an issue that some member of our team isn't involved in.
When folks in government are interacting with our firm, they can always be assured that the individual who's talking with them is pushing the policy that they truly believe is the best and right policy.
We have such a wide variety of areas of expertise. Rarely do issues fall just in one silo. Having people who can address all the different parts of the problem is a big win.
The difference in our firm is we truly are a team.
From getting back in the game to getting back to exploring all this life has to offer, our dedicated team is here for you every step of the way. With a patient-centered approach and unparalleled orthopedic and sports medicine care, our team of 70-plus physicians and providers are here to help you live a healthy and active lifestyle. With over 225,000 patient visits a year and servicing North Florida and South Georgia, you can trust TOC for all of your orthopedic needs.
And welcome back here to Tallahassee Live on 93.3 Real Talk Radio here in the Tallahassee area. Of course, if you're tuning in here for the visual stream, TLH Soccer Club or the Tallahassee Soccer Club YouTube, thanks for coming aboard with us. Andrew Jupe, James Ward, Trenton Young, and Joe Ward, who, of course, joins us in the box. Our numbers man here for TSC. Joe, give us the breakdown, man.
Well, the breakdown is if you're Tallahassee, this first number is going to have to switch around. Shots on goal is 6-1 Southern States. Southern States has gotten some good opportunities on goal. Throw-ins, Tallahassee's 15-9. Fouls is a wash, 8-8. Goal kicks 9-2. That part, a lot of that is the offshoot of the 6 shots on goal. Corner kicks is 4-1 Southern State. Our goalie has done a fantastic job in the first half. 5 saves. And Southern State's really with 1. Free kicks 10-9 here at the half. The thing that I see sitting out in front of y'all is Tallahassee's got to create some scoring opportunities. Here, they're not really getting any scoring opportunities. Southern State's defense is good. Now, Tallahassee had a couple of chances to get a scoring opportunity, but either there was an offsides or pass was too long and all that. And that you're going to see that a lot in soccer. But Southern State's is getting good opportunities, and we're not.
There you go. Yeah, it's more that final ball. So obviously generating some chances, but balls had going through the crosses and some good runs, but it's that final ball or that final foot on the contact that TSC isn't getting. And so, yeah, both defensive lines have been at it. A lot of offsides here, good traps going. The offenses have been relentless. It was a furious pace, and then it kind of seemed like about the 38-minute mark that it was just like, oof, and everybody had like a big exhale, and we kind of just worked it around both teams. Nobody super launching numbers forward or going after it here, but a good back and forth chess match versus two teams who both trading punches right now.
Well, the first, excuse me, about the first 5-6 minutes of the game, Southern States would get to every 50-50 ball here, and then after about the 6-minute mark, this started evening up here. Tallahassee has to come out flying in the second half. They got to be on top of them from the get-go, because part of that in the first 5-6 minutes, Southern State's had a couple of good opportunities right off the bat.
Yeah, they started quick, service over the top, 2 or 3 of them right off the rip, and they kind of set the tone. Hey, this is a different Southern States from previous years. We're coming at you, Tallahassee. We're not going to let you get into this game.
You got to be ready to match their intensity from the start. And I thought in the first 5-6 minutes, Tallahassee did not do that. But then they got better from that point on here. So second half, I would say first and foremost, win the 50-50 balls. Win them. And I mean, don't. If I wanted to, you got to, numbers has got to be in your favor on the 50-50 balls. Number 2, get some opportunities. It's going to have to take either a major mistake by Southern States on the defense end, or Tallahassee gets a play going, and it is to perfection.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There were some opportunities, and you saw them in limited pressures, try to box them in, and got a couple good attacking spurts. But, yeah, like you said, and that's kind of the name of the game. When you play better teams in the conference like a Jacksonville, like a Southern States, you're only going to get a couple opportunities, and you got to cash in. You got to make it happen while you have the chance. So we'll see if they can do those going forward.
There is a saying goes, they're one of them teams, if you do not capitalize on their mistakes, eventually they will pounce on yours.
Yep, absolutely.
And this is just having one of those feelings. If Tallahassee does not capitalize on Southern State's mistake here, eventually Southern State's is going to pounce.
Yep, absolutely. And so far, 9 scoreless halves versus Southern State's. TSC historically still has not scored on Southern State's, potentially needing at least a goal to get a result here. Of course, want to make sure you vote for the man of the match going forward here. TLH website hit that up. 60th minute, that voting will go live. TLHsoccer.com. You can get that information. Of course, keep it on rolling as we have an opportunity. Give a shout out to our sponsors. Doing the security night, Archangel Security. Of course, a local veteran-owned security guard company serving the greater Tallahassee area, offering competitive rates for armed and unarmed uniformed guard services, plain clothes and uniform protection details, public, private property patrols, construction sites, apartment complexes. If you got those going on, you know you got to get with Archangel. Of course, you can reach them at 442-288-9172 at archangelagencyfl.com or by emailing them archangelagency.fl@gmail.com. Archangel Security, committed to excellence, state license B3200594, one of the proud sponsors here for TSC. And while we're going through them, let's run through the gamut. Yeti Concrete, specializing in beautiful decorative concrete finishes, polished concrete, epoxy floors, overlays for pool decks, and outdoor spaces for unbelievable concrete. My goodness, finishes. Call the Yeti, 850-544-1307. Of course, you want to take care of the business here. Of course, I want to thank to all of our sponsors that we have supporting the Battle Lions. Southern Group, Ruvos, City of Tallahassee, Curly Guard Team, Bannerman Landscape, like you saw, Yeti Concrete, City of Tallahassee, Marquis Software, Grova, VSN Tallahassee. Thanks to all of them. Smitty's Tap House, Michelle Arsenault, Young Actors Theater, DSG, Visit Tallahassee, TOC, Proof, Urbana and Richie, Tally Mac Shack, and Vision Credit Union. The long story short, Joe, is everybody wants to support TSC here, and so we are so glad that you do. And we love for you to continue to support those who supports TSC. This is a completely run community enterprise, 501c3 company, completely community funded. The community wants it, and the community gets it here, Joe, and the results are playing out fantastically well. Quick recap here as you look at the table. You were looking at a points per match situation. Southern States and TSC, the 2 and 4 teams on a per match basis. If you want to get into the conversations about the raw points, feel free. TSC tied for first in that regard. Also at halftime, Pensacola and Jacksonville, game of note, 1-1 at the break. So Pensacola struck early in the teens. I think it was like 13th or 14th minute. Since then, Jacksonville responded later in the half. That game, of course, is between the top dog and the third place dog. So the top 4 teams jamming at it here in this Gulf Coast Conference season. So exciting stuff going on for you here.
You was calling this Separation Saturday.
Separation Saturday. Of course, New Orleans and Florida Roots. So if one of those loses and it's a pretty big result, like, that's going to be tough sledding for that 6th place team, especially with the Roots, if they were to suffer defeat. Already sitting at a -9 goal differential here so far, and I believe that's a typo. It should be -8. Of course, it was 7-2 at Jacksonville. That's -5, and then 4-1 at Pensacola. It should be -8. So that's a clerical error on our part. We'll get that fixed up here for next week. Long story short, a lot of goals against here so far in the young season. Of course, they don't have their boy, Villafane. He's over here playing for Southern States this year. Southern States poaching them. Of course, Joe, we're getting ready to get rolling back here for the second half. Any last words?
Tallahassee must win the 50-50 balls to create opportunities.
Joe says go get them.
If they don't, it goes back to the thing I just said a minute ago. If you don't capitalize on their mistake, there's going to come a point in time they're going to pounce on yours.
There you go.
They are who they are.
We are who they thought they were. No, that's wrong.
They are who
we thought they were. Yes, absolutely. So still have not scored against Southern State. Still looking for a result all time here. If you're just joining us, we were going over that in the pregame, talk about the historical context as we get ready for half number 2. And for those just joining us, if you were not around for it, we just want to make sure as we get it out of here The trigger warning. This is a local radio broadcast here, of course, produced by and for TSC audience. So we will give respect to your club for Southern States if you're joining us and rooting for the guys in red. But this is a local radio broadcast, like we said, for TSC, by TSC, and this will be unashamed in pronouncing our pro TSC situation. So, my man, Joe Ward, always a pleasure. Fantastic. We'll see. Can we get you at the post game?
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah, he'll be around. Ready for the post game as we get rocking and rolling. And just getting ready for the other side of halftime here. TSC Southern States getting ready to get rocking and rolling here for the second half of action. Sitting on zeros is where we have this one. Fantastic situation going for a game in the Gulf Coast Conference here. And TSC still looking for that magical result here against Southern State Stars here. The Battle Lions getting ready to get it going. Crowd filling in here, hitting up the food trucks. Shout out to the food trucks. Who we got today? We got the burrito truck. And we got some barbecue over there, right, Trent? You dip into that pool while we had a little hiatus there?
No, I wish I did. That actually sounds extremely appetizing.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, they won't be around by the time we get out of here. If they are, they'll be sold out everything, I'm sure. We had a good crowd tonight, Ju.
Absolutely. So it looks like we've surpassed what we had for first day at Jacksonville. Obviously, terrible weather for the Jacksonville game, so we didn't get as many as we thought we could. Got about, I think the final tally was 584 against Jacksonville. So I'm pretty confident, Trent. We are 6 Bills, 6+ right now. And exciting stuff here for TSC, continuing to grow. And third year in the NPSL. Halftime substitution. How about the Texas man? Coming back home, born and bred here in Tallahassee. Ethan Stewart, number 13.
All right.
Going to be getting a run here in the second half. Trying to see who he was substituted for, but that looks like the only change. Smith, Dowling, Padilla, Claudio, Perry, Myalby, Fitzgerald, Wallace, or no. Yep, Wallace still there. Lowe's still there. Who are we missing? Alcalea's still there. What's the change right now? Oh, Zuri. So Stewart is in for Zuri. No Zuri Robertson, so the former Florida High man with the Ethan Stewart. As we get rolling here for half number 2. Like we said, Jacksonville also tied at the half, so this will muddy the table here for the Gulf Coast Conference. As we get ready to start things off, Oldfields Battalion cheering on TSC here, trying to get the people rocking and rolling. Half number 2 in a formal PA announcement. Here's Ethan Stewart gets the heads up in for Zuri Robertson. Of course, Southwestern Assemblies of God University, Waxahachie, Texas. Of course, we know him as a midfielder, Trent. We've seen him on the U19s playing NAIA ball here this year. Named a team captain as a freshman out there, Trent.
Pretty impressive stuff, and we actually saw him break into the senior team and get a few appearances down the end of the stretch last season. So definitely a player of high caliber that we're extremely excited to have back in our 18-man roster today.
Absolutely. So TSC, of course, in the all-black uniforms going left to right. Southern State's going right to left here in all red.
And the ball cleared over top. Ooh. Maybe a forearm or an elbow to the back of the head there. That's number 37, Hoyos, who was fouled on the play. Didn't see who exactly that was. I know number 9, Alejandro Padilla, was in the area. But I'm not going to say it was him. But regardless, we'll have a free kick here for Southern States, about 52 yards out. Ball sent back post, cleared away by Tallahassee. That'll be a Southern States throw-in.
Get it going over on that far side. Of course, like we said, going right to left. Davies up for the long throw here. Alcalaya. Hoyo stumps it back. Good job of Wallace tracking back. Tries to get it out of the danger zone. Harrison's going to try to lock it in for Southern States. One well here by Stewart, trying to punch it up to Connor Perry. Perota, about 40 yards from goal, will control it here for Southern States and cycle back around to the defense as everybody kind of regains their normal positions.
Southern States was looking to switch that ball right to left, but Ethan Stewart was all over it.
Of course, Stewart falling into the near side here. Often played out in this perimeter for TSC when he's made his appearances. Beautiful control. Dowling to Fitzgerald to Lowe. Now looking for some service. Good numbers coming forward here. Perry with a nice touch with the outside of the right. Needs a good ball coming in here. Stafford Dowling, 30 yards from goal. Drops it off to Fitzgerald into the attacking third. Here is Stewart. Gives it off to Perry. Puts it back on his left foot. Service. Nobody home on the backside. And this one's cleared out by Southern States, but a good buildup for TSC. But once again, no final product. Pressure on Villafane from Perry, and he'll dump this one out of play. Local news in the house.
Yeah, I saw that.
There you go. TXL coming in here. ABC 27, of course, being part of a really cool effort with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters Foundation, WTXL, partnering with TSC and the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of the Big Bend, and raising publicly and privately money for the Big Brothers, Big Sisters program. Trent, over $10,000 check being given to the Big Brothers, Big Sisters Foundation. So super cool stuff.
Incredible.
That went down at halftime. Super cool. Once again, community coming together, doing some cool things. Trent, a lot of times we see it on the soccer field, but some more important things done off the field as well. Out for a TSC throw right at midfield over on that far side here in the 50th minute in the early stages of this second half. 0-0 here in Tallahassee. 1-1 out in Jacksonville between PFC and the Armada. The top four teams in the table going at it here in the Eastern time zone. All games, all level. New Orleans and the Florida Roots going at it in Nolens right now. That game is about 10 minutes in. We're trying to load up that third-party software that's always seems to be giving us trouble, where a lot of the teams still stream their games. Trent?
It shan't be named.
Yeah, it looks like we got a little delay going here. So we're about 10 minutes behind on the feed.
Good pressure.
So still rolling out there on the feed here. Perry trying to escape and going a little counterattack.
He's quick, man.
DeGracia Gonzalez steps in for Southern State, stumps it out of play. Dropped off for TSC, sends it airborne is Padilla. It'll be dropped about midfield inside the center circle on top of that Gobby Cougar logo. Right about midfield as Southern State's calms it down and looks to possess. Stafford Dowling, some good pressure, but regrouped by Jorge here. And Southern State's will look to cycle around. And so this current sequence reminds me more of Southern State's of years past.
Agreed.
A little absorption, look to build from the back, collect, rocket from about 30 yards from Harrison is dispelled by Alcalaya. But they're trying to whip you around and get you in a better organization here as Southern State's goes quick. Mayalbi called for the foul. Walsh with a little prod on the defense there on the far side. Service towering over the top all the way through the 18. They'll track it back, but is dumped out of play here near side. New substitute coming in here for Southern States at the half is Torre, number 21. He gets his first touch of the game. So Kevin Lowe will clear it on the fringe of the defending third. Perota comes out 35 yards from goal, will head it out of danger. Dowling giving pressure on him. But like you were saying, this was Southern State's little 5, 6, 7 minute sequence of them trying to draw TSC out of position, see if they can burn them here with some slow, kind of methodical play. TSC now, a little possession. Smith looking to serve over the top. Looks like a miscommunication going all the way back to Perota. And he'll settle it down here. Davies, Hernando. Wormburner on the ground is going to go all the way to midfield. Tries to chip out. Beautiful dispossessed there by Trice Smith. All the way back to Quadillo. And he'll blast it out of danger here. Just on the fringe of the defending third for TSC as we get into the 53rd minute.
Nothing wrong with that. Allows the defense to regroup. Bilal in pursuit of the ball here. Tried to shield it, didn't go out. Able to still win the throw. Kicks it off of, I believe that's Hoyos, number 37. And Bilal, very involved both offensively and defensively, playing the position opposite of Zuri on the left side. Really like what we've seen out of him. This is just his first appearance ever with the Battle Lions.
And he's burning up this near sideline. He'll be on the far side the majority of the way here.
Great footwork, too. We saw quite a few very impressive dribbles from him to
Indeed.
maintain possession in the first.
And low to Perry, dispossessed here by Southern States. This could be a dangerous opportunity. Perry getting back on Walsh.
Love that.
All the way back 20 yards from goal. Good step by Trice Smith. But this is an opportunity for Southern State to set up a long throw. Adams will track it over there to the far side. 3 Southern States players in the box as Walsh exit makes it 2. And then you have the late arriving Torre on the back. He's kind of lurking about 20 yards from goal. Mayalbi is double teamed out, and Southern States will poke this one free. Hoyos settles it back down to Walsh. Service coming, right-footed effort. Padilla, the big Sacramento State man, able to clear it out of danger for Southern State's throw, but still in the realm here to have that long throw possibility, about 15, 20 yards here depth-wise from goal. Settle it back down, Torre, left-footed service, dangerous one, about 6 yards out, dead center of the goal. Secondary ball is going to fall to Jorge, poked free. Mayalbi will shield it out of play, gets chopped down by Walsh, and it'll be a TSC throw-in there about 18 yards from the end line.
He'll do it every time. If Walsh gets beat, he'll bring you down. Just watch.
They get it going once again, does TSC, looking for Dowling. And some physical play here by Davies. So they kind of let him roll in the first half. It looks like they're kind of tightening things up. The referees might have had a little discussion or two, Trent, here at the break. A little tighter call here early in this second half. I think they can sense the physicality towards the end of that first half. Really the entire first half. And then here in the early goings of half number 2. Collected by Southern States here about middle of the park. It'll be a service from far side to near side, trying to hit Torre. Be chested down, back to goal for Villafañe. And Padilla coming out. TSC doesn't like that one. Big size disparity there. Sometimes the little guy gets bailed out. De Gracia Gonzalez, he's about just shy of 50 yards from goal, but a good service opportunity. Southern State's throwing numbers forward. 6 guys within 25 yards of goal right now, and a 7th arriving. Chip over the top, hits about 8 yards deep on the corner of the 6-yard box. Settle back into frame. Davies now looking to turn as he's pursued by Malby. Spun back around, service with the left foot. Hoyos gets ahead to it, but way wide of the goal. Good defense, good scrambling, good pursuit and recovery there by TSC. There'll be a goal kick coming out of the back here for the Battle Lions. We get into the 57th minute. We have an opportunity. I want to thank our crew at Archangel Security Agency, taking care of business here tonight, keeping everybody safe out there in the stands. Big crowd out here today. This one's going to be taken away. The new substitute, Torre. He's going to spell it out, and arid pass will go out for a TSC goal kick. Of course, committed to excellence is Archangel Security Agency. State license B3200594.
Jupe, so I've been watching Connor Perry a couple weeks now since he's been with this squad this season, and he reminds me a lot of a familiar face we used to have on this team, Corey Osgood. You know, somebody who probably would be billed as a winger or a striker, an attack-minded player, but certainly gets back and helps the defense as much as he possibly can, and he's just a total workhorse. So, been really fun to watch him tonight.
There you go. TSC corner. Here's the opportunity. Try to get some of those big boys up. You see Padilla lumbering up. Alcalea.
We need him, man.
Trey Smith. So, of course, Matt Wallace will kind of fall back. Ethan Stewart will kind of fall back in the defensive position. But here's an opportunity for TSC. 6 players in the box for the Battle Lions. Perry down by the keeper, Perota. And it's a 5-man wobbly cluster here on that back post, about 15 yards out. Service, won by Southern State. Stafford Dowling somehow gets a foot and a settle on it. Mayalbi comes in hot. This one's stabbed free, and they say last touch by TSC. Southern State's throw, they're going to look to go quick. Throw down the near sideline. They're controlled by Villafane, former Roots player there. And this one's out of play right in front of the Southern State's bench. And TSC gave their referee crew some jeers, and now Southern State's doing the same.
Yeah, you think that was a makeup call?
Not a popular group are the people in yellow tonight. So TSC in all-black uniforms for the first time ever in franchise history, going left to right, of course, in half number 2 in the all-red. Southern State's going from right to left. Thank you for joining us, however you may be doing so. TSC live production here, simulcast on 93.3 Real Talk Radio in the Tallahassee area. Big Bend of Florida, Southwest Georgia. Hopefully you're enjoying the game tonight. Your Battle Lions level with one of the best teams in the country, better teams in the country here from a season ago. Throwing on over the top. Alcalea puts this one into the stands. Woo! One of those conference-sponsored balls going in there, and Johnny Fitzgerald gets into the book. Yellow card here. So, Trent, lucky. They did away with the accumulation rules here for yellow cards. We misquoted that in our first game against Jacksonville, but that was this year a rule change, and now the NPSL has updated their website. So we're able to get updated information. But shout out to Coach, I believe it was Coach Hammond over there in the Roots program, was able to give us the heads up and say, hey, guys, not any longer. So appreciate that, and that's good for TSC. Here is we were a frequent flyer on the write-up sheet.
You could say that.
So here's a throw-in, dangerous position here for Southern State, 60th minute. As we get out of the post-halftime juncture, Torre, one of the new substitutes, towering ball. Trey Smith will meet that one about 10 yards from goal. Settled by Davies, 35 yards from goal. He'll put it down to Walsh, looking for some service. Over on the far side of the field, 25 yards from the pipes. Tried a little sneaky ball here to Adam Service. Hoyos, a clean header, almost puts it back post. Dangerous positioning. And Southern State's, that's probably best opportunity for either team.
Just that fast is how quickly Southern State's capable of scoring.
Yep.
That was scary. Walsh is 1v2, 1v3 in the corner, and then there's one little run through across, and that narrowly would have been the difference in the match so far. Luckily, goes just wide, Jupe, and we're still all level here.
Woof. Rios substitution here for Southern State.
60th minute.
Villafane coming out. There you go, Trent.
You know what that means.
Good reminder. Don't forget to head to TLHsoccerclub.com. Vote for your man of the match.
Who are we feeling so far, Jupe? Any
Man.
leading candidates that stick out to you?
I mean, with the couple saves, keep this one 0-0. I say Quadillo is going to be at the top of my list. Trey Smith also going to be up there. Here comes Kevin Lowe trying to add his name to the candidacy. 30 yards from goal. Beautiful through ball. Oh, and Dowling called off again. All right, let's check here on the delayed feed. Dowling. Yep. Little late ball. He's off again.
Kevin kind of hesitated just a split second to throw the defender off, and Staff was already committed to the run. It's tough.
He's back there. He's making him think about it, though.
Dude, he's working so hard.
I like it. Keep going, Staff. Doing great, dude. Service
Look at him go.
out of the back, looking for Dowling once again. The rocket from Alcalá coming out of the back. Controlled down here by Southern State, centering ball. Look at Walsh. He's more towards the left side of the position. We talked about how fluid his positioning and the freedom he has here with Southern State's. Rip from 30. Off the football upright. Quadillo looked to be up to it. But the man from Southampton got a little excitement in his boots, just high, and the East Tennessee keeper on top of it. Stretching out, though.
He's slow to get up.
Awkward fall to the turf, but
Stretching
that
out
was
hamstring.
a rip, man. That is one thing Southern State's, them and Pensacola do pretty often is they love going to the fringe of the attacking third, kind of about that 30-35, and instead of trying to play the corners, they'll cut it back, and they'll have these runs coming in and these late deliveries on the far side, and then they will be looking for active people to rip. And Walsh right on cue there. We saw a couple times versus New Orleans, especially Jacksonville, too. That kind of style, but that is a Southern State's philosophy there.
Yeah, Jupe, I was just going to say that almost felt like a design play where it's like, all right, next time we get the ball, Mason, you just come to the middle of the formation. We'll get you the ball, and, you just go ahead on at them. And that's exactly what it was. There were runs being made, so nobody was really able to step and shut down the shot. Something similar we saw in the first half, right? So that one, a lot more direct, a lot more scary. It was on his right foot, and he was really able to get behind that. Just high. Just goes over the top of the crossbar there. And
whoa, now.
Hopefully, Mark Quadillo is feeling all right. He's kind of
stretching it out.
Gingerly moving around there.
Oh, no.
No. Dear Lord.
That was a miscommunication here as they were setting up the free
up.
kick.
Oh,
Quadillo is stretching out.
Oof.
And, of
He's
course,
asking for a sub, I think. Cam Castrua is warming up, putting on the keeper jersey, taking off the warm-up penny.
Cam Castrua putting back on the pink cape. 3 fantastic starts.
TSC kicks the ball out.
270-plus beautiful minutes here for Castrua, filling in and keeper, and with the high-profile guy coming in for his first start, 63rd minute goes down after being in the area for a good save, and Castrua's going to have to do it again here, Trent. Of course, the Childs man coming along, having a great early season.
What's his record as our starting keeper so far in the 2023 season, Andrew June?
Of course, he's undefeated, baby. 1 win, 2 draws.
No else.
And, of course, going back to that Jacksonville game, had a big one. He's always there when TSC needs him. Number 1, Cameron Castrua came in down the stretch last year. Of course, a tough season at the end down the stretch. Went out for a couple of those long road trip games. Seemed like the longest season of all time.
No kidding.
A year ago.
Well, when you're not getting results, it sure feels like that.
Absolutely.
This season's flying by, though, isn't it?
So Castrua thrown in to the action here against the number 14 team in the country from last year and tied for first at the top of this year's conference standings at the moment. So a twist in the plot here at Gene Cox Stadium. You never like to see it because of injuries, but this is the hand TSC has now been dealt. Obviously, wishing Quadillo the best. Here comes Wallace, a little bit of excitement, 20 yards from frame here. He'll look to collect and try to get it out to Mayalbi, but Southern States comes away with the takeaway. A good prodding effort there, but they get it to Hoyos on the top line right around midfield. Chips it over to the far side here to Adams. Serve is coming all the way across for Torre. He just tries to keep it in play. No one only does so temporarily. Ethan Stewart, the swagoo man, looking to get it rolling.
Walsh is not playing as a winger anymore. He's playing as kind of like a false 9 or a center attacking mid.
And
Just go ahead.
hold up here on Dowling. Sorry, subby with TSC. Free kick. Go for it, Trent. My bad.
Oh, no, you're all good. I was pretty much done. I honestly forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, Walsh just playing more centrally and not really playing out wide. And so going to have to watch for him to take the shots and obviously to set up his teammates with his great footwork down the stretch here.
And Stewart is a Sagoo man, not a Swagoo. So it's my bad. Southwestern Assemblies of God University,
Come
but
on, man.
they don't throw the W in
Get
there.
it
They go
together.
Southwestern one word. If it was me, I'd want the
Oh,
Swagoo.
yeah,
The
that just
Swagoo,
rolls
baby.
off the tongue. That's like
Also the
some-
Lions.
sounds like something Primetime came up with back in the 80s and 90s.
There you go. So he was at Leon Lion High School, played for the Battle Lion U19 team and the senior team, and then he also plays for the Lions out there at Sagoo. He's a lifelong Lion. Trent. This one as Troy Smith tries to clear this
He's
one.
on. He is
Algalea. Flag stays down. Heavy touch. Downlink given pursuit. Perota. And the UNC Wilmington man goes a little behind the back. He's actually headed for Marshall.
Cheeky.
So was with UNC Wilmington. Headed for Marshall is Perota. Castrua out of the back. Little outside ball to Padilla. And a little bit of frenetic sequence.
Keep it in. Oh.
Tried to get Padilla on the Meg, but he's able to collect and kill. A little bit of a weird stretch there for TSC. Got out of position. And this one comes centrally here. 35, 30 yards from frame. Now Walsh. He's a lively one. Sets on out to Torre. Near side. Good step by Stewart. Out of play. Be a Southern State's throw in. About 15 yards from that goal line, Trent. 68th minute. Crucial juncture. This is that kind of no man's land corridor, Trent, before you head into that kind of final 15 minutes once you get to 75. So this is a dangerous one. And it looks like Coach Joel's bringing a little heat off the bench.
The final battle before the last stand.
There you go. You talk about bringing some excitement. Oh, chopped down. That's a thick one.
That
There for Perry.
I would assume.
Harrison Tree fall hard.
Nope.
Hey, Perry go in the book for that one?
No, I haven't seen it yet unless he's.
Okay, that was.
No.
It looked like he was
10
grabbing
yards.
the card out of his pocket. But it's just the magic, not the magic spray, but the chalk. Quick start here. Southern States wants to rip it and takes about 35 yards from goal. You're getting a little more lively. Want to test our boy Castrua. I don't think that Southern States has ever seen Castrua in person.
They've only heard about the myth.
Yeah, I think back to year one, and that would have been Wallum, I believe, would have been back for
Yeah, I don't
TSC.
think Castrua was officially on the team until last season. Oh, Coach Carl.
And then I think last year it would have been Bosco in time. A service coming centrally here all the way across. Another hairy ball will be out of play. 70th minute. Substitution coming here for TSC. Don't forget to vote for the man of the match. Of course, TLHsoccerclub.com. Want to thank our friends over at Archangel Security Agency, committed to excellence, veteran-owned and operated security guard service for the greater Tallahassee area, taking care of all your needs here. State license number B3200594.
So we had 2 balls in play there. The ref called it back. So Walsh's cross never actually happened. They went back to the original spot with the throw in. So that is why it is still Southern State's ball.
Okay, there you
For
go.
those of you curious, it was a very confusing moment.
Did we get our boy Jean in there? No, he's still standing by the way. Great
Ooh.
slide there. Myalbi.
Oh.
And it'll be Southern State's corner. Once again, dangerous positioning here. And here come the big boys out of the back. Davies and all of them. And it'll give Jean-Baptiste an opportunity to come in. You talk about excitement and somebody who can get some butts out of seats is what TSC likes to say. Is Jean-Baptiste Lamongo. Substitution pending here. And confusion. They're not going to hold up the corner. Now they will hold up the corner.
Now we're going to sub?
Yeah, it looks like Jean-Baptiste is coming in for Perry. But the order of operations, Trent, just like grade school.
Sure.
Gotta make sure we take care of everything. So Perry's day is done. Great day. Round of applause for our boy Connor Perry. Good stuff. And the exciting attacker, Jean-Baptiste, into the fold. Big one. Davies going to drop it centrally. Falls 6, 3 yards out, and rockets over the top. Southern States with 2 touches inside the 6-yard box. And Hernando can't put it home with the left foot. And we're still 0-0, 72nd minute.
And very interesting, Jean Lamongo playing back at center back. Oh, I'm sorry. He's playing as a striker. Forgive me.
Got him.
It's been a long
you.
day.
He pranked you, Trent. And this one's going to be won back by Southern States, who seems to be controlling the game here. Awkward bounce. Alcalea going to give chase. Beautiful poke free there on Walsh. He'll get centrally and try to backtrack, but Southern States noticeably picking up the intensity, and the offensive pursuit is on. How about the Sagu man? The former Leon Lion, Tallahassee born and bred, Ethan Stewart. Good slide in there. 73rd minute. Southern State's another corner. And if they keep knocking on the door, Trent, I'm very concerned. Walsh, the in-swinger, the righty's going to take a rip at this one. Castrol off the line, gets 2 gloves to it. And he'll get out of the 18-yard box. Some control here for Southern State's. An awkward bounce is going to get through to Walsh. Dangerous positioning. Wow. How about Fitzgerald on the back track? And we're still at 0s, but Southern State's with another corner kick upcoming.
That's our captain, Andrew Jude.
Absolutely. Rocketing back. He almost impaled himself on that near post, Trent, but able to make like Neo in the Matrix and get out of the way just in time, as it seems Fitzgerald in his TSC tenure has been on the brink of superhuman at times. Foul on the back post there, and it's going to be a free kick out for TSC.
Play on. That's all right. We'll get everybody up there. We'll get Jean up there. We got Ethan Stewart just hanging out over here at the 30-yard line, all by his lonesome.
So it's Dowling and Jean-Baptiste up top here for TSC. And there you go, Baptiste getting his first touch. Mr. Lamongo give way to Kevin Love, and there goes the Sagu man. They unleash him. Stewart with a very dangerous attacking position tries the early ball here to Dowling. And Dowling says, let's go, let's go, let's go. I want the quick throw, boys. Let's get it going. Stewart will give it into Lowe. Gives to Lamongo. He's got Stewart out wide. Tries to thread it through to him. Once again, out of play here. Stewart will take this one into Dowling. All over him is the defense there. Of course, they're not going to call that in the box, though. Trent Hernando on top of it. Long ball. Trey Smith will win this well. Beautiful header back to Padilla. Oh, dangerous one. Takeaway for Southern States. Tried a cheeky little near post with the outside of the foot, and Rios just catches it raw. It goes wide, and unharmed will be the score line here. But Southern States is on the brink, Trent, and they keep bringing the battering ram. TSC's got to press the relief valve. We need some offensive pressure here, or it's only a matter of time. I don't know if they can hold up 20 more minutes of this, my man.
No, that was very dangerous. Castrua kind of caught in no man's land. He could have got chipped very easily. They could have shot it around him. Just kind of got really lucky there. That was easily the most important possession so far for Southern States, and luckily for us, it was squandered.
He did help force the issue, though, so it's a good on Castrua for doing that.
Correct.
Fitzgerald coming to settle away with it. Elects not to serve Dowling. He'll take it up into the offensive third. Fitzgerald chipped down, and he gets one and into the pocket. Yellow for De Gracia Gonzalez as another one comes out of the pocket for the referee. Jacksonville adds a second. They now lead PFC in the 72nd minute over there at Bishop Kenny High School. So the Armada back on top trying to get the full 3, which would send them top of the table. Substitution pending. Oh, this is a dangerous man here for Southern States. We do have a little stoppage here, Trent. Are we about to sneak in a little Archangel security buffer right here?
We sure could.
Archangel Security Committed to Excellence, state license number B3200594. Hit them up, 442-288-9172. Official security company here of Tallahassee Soccer Club. So here we go, my Albie, the lefty, gonna swing this one in, dangerous position. This one sails all the way back. It lands. Kevin Lowe takes a rocket rip. It'll deflect out to the far side. Trice Smith all the way up offensively. We'll get on top of this one.
Heck yeah.
And so to be a TSC corner. So into the game is Kai Phillip, a very, very dangerous attacker here for Southern States. And I believe he took out Hoyos.
Correct.
So Kai Phillip, he's Trinidad and Tobago national from University Evansville. Has some USL2 experience with a team out in Arkansas. Right-footed in-swinger from Kalo. Back post about 12 yards out from goal. Southern State's going to look to roll. Here comes Walsh. He's on the left side now. It's a foot race between Walsh and Fitzgerald.
Wow.
Mayalbi going to come all the way back. He'll serve to Castrua. Beautiful composure to give to Johnny. But here comes the press for Southern State. Splits the double team. Matt Wallace coming to hang out. Beautiful distribution. Here comes Jean-Baptiste. See if he can serve up a beautiful plate. He's trying to glide through the USF man, and he's able to get it back here to Stewart. As the position is really fluid, he keeps it in play to Jean-Baptiste. A couple little step overs. He's ushered out of play. A strong defensive effort, but some excitement out of the back for TSC and how they recovered a couple links up, and that's how you have to attack Southern States when you get the chance. But back on the attack here, the relentless Walsh, 30 yards from goal. He's one-on-one with Stewart, the Sagoo man. Southampton and Tallahassee. Oh, the old turf monster gets him. Ethan Stewart is used to the turf, but the Southampton man is not. And the old turf monster, the friend of Tallahassee Soccer Club. This will go back at a goal kick here for TSC, 78th minute.
That's for every yellow card you haven't gotten called for.
It'll get you. The old turf monster. Still knotted at zeros.
I thought you were going to say still undefeated, the turf monster.
Well, I mean, it's a lot better than the natural grass that used to be here. My goodness, that would get run into the ground with all the football games played here. Here comes Jean-Baptiste. He's got Dowling on the perimeter. Dowling was looking for some service, and this one will be controlled here by Southern States. Trying to build out of the back. Once again, working this left side, and Walsh is back to his more comfortable, it seems, left kind of winger position, and he's really been prodding TSC. As this one's going to be chested down and controlled, kept in play. There's Kai Phillip, the Trinidad and Tobago national. You got to get a body on the lanky Trinidad man. He is dangerous with the ball at his feet. Great job by Wallace to poke this one free. Heavy challenge over there on that far side. And it looks like he collided with Jorge, I believe, over there on the far side.
I think we'll have a couple more minutes of stoppage time this half, June.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So probably look about 3 or 4. Another substitution pending. Ooh. How about this one here, Trent?
Boy.
So a little bit of
Least we forget.
attacking center mid, I think. Johnny Fitzgerald will take a seat. Bennett Mitchell.
Don't look. First impression or first guess. Who would your replacement captain be in this situation?
I would say Lowe.
That's what I would think.
Dowling.
Matt Wallace.
Wallace. The University of Charlotte man.
Getting some love.
There you go.
Look at him working hard.
He is one of the elder statesmen. He does have kind of that Justin Laird. Obviously, he's more of a defensive player than Laird was, but he's kind of got that Jacob Schmoker, Justin Laird, veteran presence about him. I love it. I love what he adds to the dynamic here for TSC. 80th minute. Still looking for a breakthrough. Does anybody want to win this game? Coming centrally, Torre. Off to Jorge. Pursuit here as he ushers it all the way back. Bennett Mitchell. Looks like Lamongo is going to bounce back outside here. A little more defensive role. They're going to send Bennett Mitchell forward with Stafford Dowling. So an interesting situational matchup. We'll see how Mitchell and Dowling can link up. As Southern State's looking to send some long ball about 45 yards from Lamongo. Good win. Good chest down here by Lowe. Here's the pursuit by Phillip. Nice little overlap to Lamongo. And he tries to go back behind the back. Pressure given by Southern States here. Be out for a throw. Walsh takes it quickly. TSC caught napping a little bit out of position. Cycles it back down to Walsh. He's a free runner over on the side. Only has Phillip in the box, though. Service, dead center. This one gets through 3. Southern State's bodies as Phillip had the initial flick, and reinforcements coming in late there for the boys in red. Service coming through. Beautiful slide in there by Alcalaya. Another service to Phillip. He distributes 18-yard box. Rip. Lamongo. Beautiful position defensively. Able to get in front of it. Southern States will have the throw in. 45 yards from goal over here on the near side. DeGracia Gonzalez looking to give the throw in, but a substitution pending. It's going to be Gardner in for Southern States. And is that, I believe that's Jorge. Is it 22 coming off? Yes, it is. So Jorge is off. And number 10, Gardner, is on for Southern States. Davies in control back by midfield here. Hernando now on top of it for Southern States. 45 yards from goal, on the ground service, going to get through to the front line. Here's Phillip. Drops it off here to the new substitute. His first touch is for Gardner. Onto the perimeter, Adams. Good defensive step. That looks like Wallace over there on the far side. Great effort for him. Keep it out of the danger zone. Throw in coming. Once again, Gardner some touches. Back to Adams. He's onside. Takes a rip. Up by the field goal post there as that one hooks up by the crossbar. 83rd minute. Goal kick here for TSC. Or excuse me, throw in over here on the near side. As Lamongo looks to take. Stewart will track back, trying to give him some help. As that's our blind spot over there on that left side here, Trent. Ooh. Nice little flick on from Dowling, and he's completely hounded once again by Southern States. Free kick here for TSC.
He's been hounded all night.
So Lowe's going to put that one on the ground. Thought about sending it to Wallace over there on the far side. Matt's like, nah, let's take the air out. Let's regroup.
Yeah.
If I'm still here in about 30 seconds, I'll go for it. But yeah. Service over the top, the big Sacramento State man. He's looking for Dowling. Be off Southern State's. Oh, they say Southern State's throw. And Dowling's getting no love. He's hosting another conversation with the assistant referee. This one's going to be squared off. Dowling reminds me of a lot of, I guess that's not true, so I'm going to hold that off.
All right.
Dowling still going after it here, 84th minute. High intensity all the way through. Wallace, good step. Alcalaya coming in reserve help, and it'll be out of play. Here throwing for TSC. 84th minute of action, still scoreless here. Looking for a breakthrough over in Jacksonville, still 2-1 Armada lead, Pensacola. If there is a true winner in that game, that team will go top of the table, regardless of which one wins, based on the points per match differential. Dowling, look at the work rate. Spins around, gets it back. A little give and go. And a little jump start. Dowling needs some help. Here comes Kevin Lowe, the only reinforcement that Dowling has. Shot on target! Perota needs to come up. That's probably his biggest save of the game. Out for a TSC corner. But Dowling, the only option was Kevin Lowe coming in late. He tried to just go for it. Woo, they're urging on the crowd here. Massive sequence, 85th minute. So service coming from the near side. It's going to be K-Lowe. This is going to be a right-footed outswinger. Crucial juncture. Is this the breakthrough for Padilla? Will he get his certified Battle Lion moment on the corner kick? Looking for him. Corner of the 6-yard box. He gets onto it. It'll be collected over the far side. Sent back. Lamongo still onside on his left foot. Looking for a drop-off. Service over the top. And it's fumbled. It's a sitter.
No way.
In the back of the net. It's a historical outcome. Is it going to stand? The offside flag is on for breakthrough. The first ever goal against Southern States. Put it on the score sheet. Trent loaded up. It's a TSC goal. The Battle Lions. History. The first ever goal against the Southern States Soccer Club franchise, and your surprise Battle Lions, the underdog season in full swing. One of the pillars of the Battle Lion mentality, Trent, is belief. Trent, I think everyone's starting to believe. The Battle Lions have believed. An absolute sitter. Peralta gives TSC a dunk at the rim and able to take the chance and put it in. TSC with the advantage, but this is where the composure comes into play, Trent.
Absolutely.
To hold on and get all three at home. Can you weather the storm against Southern States here? Caleb able to hold on to it. Chip over the top. He's got Bennett Mitchell. One-on-one battle here with Harrison as the intensity is rocketed up, and TSC on the brink of doing something historic. They've already scored. They've already exorcised the one demon, Trent. Have you ever seen two exorcisms in one night? Service over the top. Lamongo wins the header here. Intense atmosphere here at Gene Cox Stadium. Service looking for Dowling, and this one will be out of play. Coach Joel, eat that card, Coach.
Yeah, he'll
Eat
love
that
it.
card.
What do you want me to do? You want my boys to lose?
Coach DeCastro in the book.
Oh, Jupe. I mean, that whole goal, it was really just an opportunity that we just kind of got a lucky bounce. It goes through the keeper's hands, right? And we just have the awareness, and we're in the right position at the right time. You know, sometimes you just find yourself in the right place at the right time. But really, the reason why that even happened is because Stafford never gave up on that ball on the far sideline on the throw-in. He was able to recover, win the ball, gets the corner. Jean Lamongo gets the ball, able to drop it off, and we're able to get that goal, man. And like you said, just a truly historic moment for this club. This will keep us tied for first of the table as far as, you know, just pure points, not points per game. But, I mean, this is huge, Jupe. Truly history. We have never scored against this club, and, wow, what an incredible time for us to go ahead and nab that first goal.
Unreal. TSC with the advantage, like you said, and this would, of course, on just points per game, put us atop. If current results hold, it would be TSC and Jacksonville, 1 and 2, top of the table. How about that for a flipping of fates here, given the 2022 season? Foul here on Wallace, a little bit of extracurricular here. Southern State substitution. Flatau in number 2, coming in here for the Stars. And Bennett Mitchell. We didn't take him long. He was our first card of the season. He's back at it, Tread. He comes in as a super
Hasn't even
sub.
played 5 minutes.
Gets in the book. He'll love the aggressiveness from B. Mitch.
I mean, if there's one thing B. Mitch is always going to do,
Ooh, he'll
right?
bring the heat, dude. He'll bring the heat. Never shies away from a battle here. The Battle Lions, can they keep it going? Can they hold on to all three? Big service here from Southern States. Davies chested down, and Kastrua!
Not tonight.
Cam Kastrua! How many times does he have to put on the cape, Trent? Anytime TSC needs him. Early in the season, in relief for the injury, Kastrua just keeps on giving. Service to the back post on the 6. Philip and Kastrua is there! Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, don't be hurt. Please pretend to be hurt.
Is that Trey Smith? That looks like a cramp. As we have here, don't forget to head to TLHsoccerclub.com, vote for your player of the game.
It's weird being on this side of the time wasting, isn't it?
Woof. Yeah. That didn't happen much. We think it's Padilla. We got caught in all the excitement.
Yeah, that was very tough.
So we went over next door, and they think it is Padilla with the goal scored with the broken bone. Able to put this one in 90th minute. We'll probably get 5 or 6 stoppage time. And Cam Kastrua looks like he was protecting his child from a bear attack. Lops it up as the Trinidad and Tobago national goes after that one for Phillip. Trey Smith will scoop this one off the top. Miyabi with a nice save. And it'll be a TSC throw-in on the far side. That's Flatau, the new substitute for Southern States. And if you weren't on notice already, Gulf Coast Conference times are a-changing here. This would be absolutely massive. TSC have to focus, though. Absolutely gigantic 5 minutes. We're about 30 seconds deep in stoppage time, Trent. I think 5 to 6 stoppage added time will be our ratio. Oh, Walsh with the full body slam of Ethan Stewart. And a yellow card here from Walsh. And he's lucky that's not a little more. Absolutely no chance at the football there. takes his upper body, swings him over his leg, because that's a potential ACL
Sure,
too.
man. Just take your L, Mason. Go home.
And this one's going to be a long ball service over the top, looking for Dowling. As this one gets back into play. Perota. Servicing Davies. Look at the attack. He's staying up. They throw the defenseman forward. Gardner. Everybody goes forward here for Southern
Walsh back
States.
post,
Long
no.
service, looking for the big guys. And this one's a heavy touch. Lamongo giving some pursuit there, coming in late. Help coming in from Kalo, and he takes him at the neck. He took him at the neck.
You're kidding.
He is turning into a full-blown liability as Walsh. Completely out of control.
Dirtiest player in the conference. New
Wow.
moniker,
I
Mason
mean, I don't
Walsh.
usually like to dog people,
Sure,
but
I
this
don't
is
either.
getting absolutely reckless. Player safety is on the board here.
Man, I hate to say it. I watched him, stomp on, I think it was Danny Perez, hit the back of his leg last year. He tore his ACL, and the ref didn't see it. So, I mean, this isn't anything new.
Yeah.
Is all we're trying
I
to
mean,
say.
I don't like to dog him, but this is absolutely classless. Unreal. Substitution coming here, Dowling. Good work right here. Diego Azar will come in, number 11 here for Staff. Good work rate. Staff didn't get the goal that he was looking for today, Trent, to keep the streak going, but a fantastic effort here, 93rd minute.
Tallahassee doesn't get the goal that we get tonight without Staff, though. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
he'll take it. We will, too.
Absolutely. That's part of the beautiful battle line mentality here.
Amen.
Service over the top. This one's going to be headed down.
Fall down.
And Castrua will control this one. And look at him getting some help with the flop. Here is the pressure going over the back. They said Cam's been learning a lot. And I like to think that's a little extra there from the goalkeeping coach they've been picking up in training here. I love it.
Southern State's
A little bit of gamesmanship here. Some brevity to a little bit of
Sure.
weight that we've been carrying,
Absolutely.
Trent. So it's good. Send it off and away. Padilla gives it a ride. This one will be cleared out. Looking here over the top. And that'll be a free kick here for TSC. 4 minutes deep in stoppage time. We could probably go about 6, I'd say would be fair. Given the fouls, the hold-ups, the substitution, obviously the goal towards the end there.
I like 4. 4 sounds good.
So, of course, not a typo. If you're tuning in from Jacksonville, you're doing a little scoreboard watching. This is a full-blown TSC 1-0 lead. Over the top, looking for Azar. And that one's out of play. That's a full-stroke blast there. The ball boys helping out. They're pretending
yeah,
like
back
they
it
don't
up.
know what's going on. All hands on deck here.
Oh, this is good, Juke.
And we get into the 5th
We've been
minute
waiting on
of
this one, buddy.
stoppage time here. TSC still needs a good 2-3 minutes. It looks like Davies and Lamongo getting into it on the defensive half over here near side out of your camera shot. Chip through, Phillip in the area, turn, and it skips off a TSC defender. This is still a
Anyone's
sequence that they can capitalize on.
Sure.
This is still huge danger. TSC is not out of the woods yet right now. So this may be, though, Trent, as by the time they set this one up over on the far side, DeGracia Gonzalez, I don't know how quickly he takes him, left-footed in-swinger.
I don't know. They could check.
I think that we'll
3
still have a
there.
little run of play after this one. Obviously, we got a free runner on the back. Torre, here he is. Service back into the box, sprawling effort. Perota wants to have a take.
Oh, get
Appeals for
real.
high kick.
Get real.
Appeals for high kick, and it says last touch by TSC. All 11 players.
That was the worst flop I've ever seen.
Well, 9 plays, sorry. Except for the 2 men up top and the corner taker.
Listen to this crowd.
All Southern States up in arms. This one gets through, hit in the 6-yard box off the crossbar. And they say play on.
Wow.
Wow, that one was
Wow.
inches and a historic result.
Yes, sir.
Your Battle Lions, they pass the field test. They take down the villains of the Gulf Coast Conference. TSC, the underdog season charges on. They may not be perfect, but they're still undefeated, and the little engine that could in the capital city has pulled off history. They exercised the scoreless demon against Southern States. They got their breakthrough late in the match. We were thinking Padilla, still no official word there, and they held on for dear life. They finished with 11 men, and they're able to get the first result. Not only the 1 point, Trent, but give us all 3. Lock down the gates, protect the fortress, buckle them up tight. Those jeans are perfect. The 2 top dogs coming to Gene Cox Stadium, and the 2 top dogs, neither of them can get a victory. TSC, if you didn't believe, you should start to believe, and these boys are for real. Gulf Coast Conference, New Orleans, where you at? Florida Roots, where you at? Pensacola, where you at? Jacksonville, where you at? Team is on the rise, and a beautiful, fantastic result here, and a absolute beautiful goal off an unfortunate mistake here for Southern States. TSC with the possibility of cashing it in and took care of business. Trent, the opportunity was presented and it was capitalized, and we told them, when you have one of the big dogs on the ropes, you got to take the knockout shot, and they were gifted one. They let the palms down in defense, and a big right hook pierces the back of the net and gives TSC a result. And granted, it looks like Jacksonville will hold on out there, and so TSC and Jacksonville will be rocketing to the top of the table, and they've got a midweek duel. Almost, it seems, of destiny that it was always going to be Jacksonville to be the top of the hill here, Trent, but TSC making their appearance felt, and what an absolutely heroic performance here by TSC.
You know, Jupe, I would be at a loss for words, but unfortunately it's my job to have all the words possible that I can speak. Yeah, honestly, man, are you not entertained? Is this not like what we signed up for? I mean, it's been over a calendar year since these fans have seen a victorious Battle Lion team on their home soil.
Yep.
And you're hearing it tonight. I mean, in the 70th, 80th, 90th minute, you know, these fans were rooting these Battle Lions on, keeping them in the game, letting them know that they've got their full support. They're not leaving early. We're here with them until the bitter end. And wow, Juke, just an incredible game. I mean, that's not necessarily probably the goal that you want to, you know, walk away on and think, you know, wow, we really outclassed, and that was an incredible goal. But it's just the awareness to be in the right place at the right time. It's Stafford Dowling not giving up on that plate in the sideline. It's Jean-Baptiste Lamongo dropping the ball back off so we can recycle it around. And incredible stuff, man. I mean, this team just didn't want to give up. This team doesn't know how to give up this season. This is a brand new team. All we do is fight. I don't know, man. This is a special bunch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Notch it up. Unreal. And how about it? Don't sleep on it. It'll get lost in the goal and all the other stuff. But Cam Castrua putting on the pink cape once again. Sure. TSC, Cam, we need you, brother. Can you bail us out one more time? Sure. We said, Trent, how much does he have left to give? He comes in keeper relief. No warm-up. Obviously started the first 3 games. Every time Cam Castrua touches the field in 2023, TSC gets a result. No different here at home.
Incredible stuff, Jupe. I mean, this is what we do it for. This is why the people come out here. This is why Joel's in charge, right? I mean, this is what we're capable of doing this season. This is just a whole new team. There's a breath of fresh air. You can just tell these boys believe in themselves, and they don't know how to give up, and that's not in their vocabulary. And I'm just beyond proud of all the hard work that's gone in on the field, off the field, everybody who's been involved with this club this offseason, bringing all these players in together, housing the players, all the sponsors donating. I mean, everything came together so that we can beat Southern States here tonight. And,
absolutely.
You know, when you think about it like that, it's just really a special environment, and we've got really something special organically growing here, Jupe. And I'm just very proud of this team, and I'm beside myself tonight.
Absolutely. The community in large support. It was a big game. They talked about it all week. What do you have? Can they pull it off? You knew this was going to be a high-profile game. Are they for real, Trent? You know, you beat the Roots. You tied Jacksonville. You tied Pensacola. Those are all things that have happened before. Sure. This is new territory. And I think now if they didn't believe, I don't know who's not believing Trent, but I think this team is for real this year, and there's something special going on down here at Tallahassee. And you see all the reserve players and the spring team. You see Kyle Otis coming back here from Clarkson, and some of the U19s on the field as well, and the big brothers and big sisters that are coming out here. This is a full-blown community effort. While we don't have the big owner and the big money and all the kind of beautiful, pristine things that a lot of these other clubs do have, Trent, we got a lot of heart and we got a lot of hands making this pie, man. And so far, the pie.
That's my dad, Chris Petley.
Yeah, everybody's father here, the president of TSC. He's grabbed the mic and he's just going rogue.
We appreciate everyone.
James!
James! Tonight, we award a player of the game every game. And tonight, I think we had a vote out there, but I'm going to go off the cuff. And I'm going to say this man right here worked his tail off all night, and we're going to go with Matt Wallace.
And that looks to be official. Number 9, Alejandro Padilla.
Join us at Proof for the next hour. Bars open, kitchen's open. Let's go enjoy the win, and we'll get back to work on Wednesday.
Alejandro Padilla, number 9, in his first ever appearance for the Battle Lions.
They gave, what was it, Matt Wallace,
Matt Wallace,
player of the game?
I'm sorry, forgive me.
There you go, number 8.
The 8s and the 9s look so similar. I'm so sorry.
I thought things were about to jump off. We just saw the very enthusiastic president grab a hold of the microphone, and anytime he's got a live mic, Trent, that is something we need to get on. So, of course, special announcement, and there them boys. And it's not only the 18, it's the spring team, the U19, the whole coaching staff.
Yeah, you better get in there, Cam.
There you go.
We don't win this without you, pal.
Beautiful.
Look at that. That's a proud bunch.
Fantastic team effort.
Wow.
And look at the crowd that's sticking around here, Trent.
2021.
Still about 150 people still in the house here watching the festivities go on. Of course, your official Battle Lion player of the game, Matt Wallace.
2 years ago, last time we won on this soil, man. That's just crazy. This is awesome, man. This is why we do it.
And, of course, you think about just a couple years ago as we're here at TSC Live post game here, kind of wrapping things up for our radio audience. We know they're getting ready to roll on out of here. So, went through the ringer. Went through the ringer here, boys. A wild ride. TSC, like we said, able to get history and a little bit of a cool down, as I think they need to cool down on so many levels here does TSC. But the full community on board here, and this is something special. Yeah, this will probably, the excitement, the fanfare, probably looked down upon here rest of the conference. We're not going to let them crash the party, dude. We've been beaten down for quite some time now, Trent. And at least now, we're going to celebrate. We're going to keep building up.
Sure. Jupe, they say act like you've been here. Well, maybe we haven't been here. If we have, it's been a while. So, you know, we're gonna have fun while we can, while we're sitting at the top of the table because, again, this is a team that didn't have a single win last year, only 2 draws the whole season, finished dead last in the entire NPSL. So, yeah, we're going to live it up, man.
Not the conference.
Yeah.
Of the nearly 100 teams that competed in the National Premier Soccer League last year, TSC was 94 out of 94. Absolutely certifiably dead last. And now taking down the number 14 team, one of the highest profile teams, not only in the conference, but the Southeast. And doing it the Battle Lion way, man. Kept fighting. Didn't have the prettiest offensive effort at times. But when given an opportunity, took care of business. And how big that opportunity was. A 1-0 final over Southern States, and we see the result going through here with Jacksonville. Jacksonville 2-1 final out there. That is locked in regardless of the result between New Orleans and Florida Roots. TSC will be jumping up to second in the table, tied for first on points and points per game. 8 points through 4 matches, Trent. 2.0 points per game alongside shoulder to shoulder with Jacksonville. Of course, goal differential, only the thing deciding or breaking those teams up. As at a loss for words here, Trent. So why don't we, since we run out of words, why don't we get to the numbers?
All right.
We hit up our boy Joe Ward. We want to pass the mic here.
Sounds good.
Get it over here. Joe, come on in, my man. Get us here with some a little numberito going here. Trent, we can still get you back, man. If you got some closing words, we didn't want to cut you off. So we're coming back in here. Joe Ward, my man. What you got, Joe?
Well, remember what I said at halftime.
What'd you say at halftime?
If you don't convert on their mistake, they will pounce.
There you go.
That goal right there is the prime example.
Absolute
The goalie
gift.
made the initial save, but the ball, instead of going in front, back toward the field, went behind him, and a Tallahassee player was right on the spot.
Absolutely.
Here, Tallahassee only had 3 shots on goal, but it only takes 1.
It only takes 1, baby.
Southern States had 11 shots on goal. Throw-ins was 30 to 33 Southern States. Fouls was 17-14 Southern States. Goal kicks, 17 goal kicks by Tallahassee to 3. The corner kicks was 4-10 Southern States. They got a bunch right there at the end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The barrage at the end of the down the stretch, those final 15, 20 minutes, insane.
Saves,
the heat that Southern State brought.
Saves, and both goalies were fantastic. 8 saves tonight combined between the two to only 1 for Southern States, and free kicks was 19-16. Y'all talked about it. My brother and I talked about this coming down here. Tallahassee is for real.
There you go.
You have
book it.
They got they got what they wanted with the 2-week road trip. They got points out of it. But see, tonight was where the rubber meets the road. You got one of the best in the whole league coming to your place tonight. This is one you have to have.
Absolutely.
Even if it's a tie, that's not the worst thing in the world, and that still gets your goal accomplished. But Tallahassee comes out of this even better now because the goal differential, that's something we can talk about when it gets down toward the end. But points right now, to me, points right now is the bigger deal. 8 points, and they're tied for first.
There you go. Tie for first on points is absolutely right. So with results, Jacks will go top of the table with 8 points. And then, of course, the +6 goal differential. Jacksonville, like TSC, 2 wins, 2 draws through 4 matches. TSC just +2 on the goal differential, but still that 8 points will go to second officially in the table.
I will play. I'm one of those. I go with the points right now. We can get the goal differential when it gets down toward the end.
Well, those are luxuries, right? So you got to get the results before we can worry about the goals. And we're not in that stage
We're
yet.
not there yet.
Building.
Because keep in mind, we got to go see these folks out yonder.
Absolutely. You got to go around the whole cycle, and you still haven't played New Orleans
And you
at all.
haven't seen New Orleans yet.
Absolutely.
And keep in mind, folks like Pensacola and Panama City come here late.
Absolutely.
So this
final game of the season for TSC.
But Tallahassee, enjoy this one tonight here. But keep in mind, you got to look at the bigger picture. Down the road, you got to go out there. New Orleans, you still got to play them twice.
Yep.
Pensacola and Panama City still come here.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing's far from over.
Absolutely. Still much work to be done. But just so we can flash it up, that has been the history here with Southern States and TSC. Never scored, never having a result. Both of those lingering demons exercise here tonight, Joe, and an absolutely massive result. So we talked about the road ahead. What were we going to say?
One thing I will say, crowd tonight, once that goal went up, oh, you could feel the electricity in the air.
My goodness. Even the build-up. Once that 70th minute, everybody was like, you could feel the anxiety in the stadium. Southern State's relentless, 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 and then able to get 1 to 2 spells of possession to at least hit the release valve and able to put it home.
I started getting anxious when about the 80th minute because it was getting down to that golden time, the 10 minute, the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yep.
Anything's possible, and we've been down this road before.
Oh, yeah.
Here where we had people either ahead or tied and didn't get it done. Well, tonight we got it done.
Got it done, absolutely. And, of course, you talked about what's next. So we'll get with the visitors first here for Southern States. So they're going to be bunched in the middle of the table. So them and Pensacola both going on the road, both losing by 1. So they are still going to be tied on points at 3 and 4 in that middle of the table. They'll go back-to-back, a little split doubleheader on the 27th next Saturday, and then, of course, the Saturday after that. They will exchange home games.
That's going to be critical.
So that's going to exchange what you'll see. That'll be a lot of the table movement. So we'll see kind of what the top 4 looks at once we kind of make into the first weekend of June, and then down the stretch, it's going to get wild here because New Orleans, we'll see where they are at towards the end of the season because they already suffered a 3-1 loss to Southern States out in Mississippi. So they'll look to get back, and then you throw the Roots into the mix, and it's a whole wild spring here for Southern States.
But now let's look at Tallahassee.
Yeah, so we'll flip it over. Let's go to the TSC side of things. So we have a non-conference game. So this is friendly, right? It will not affect the Gulf Coast standings, the playoffs, anything like that. Just an exhibition match with Southwest Georgia team up in Albany. So we got a home-and-home series with them. We'll host them on the 24th here Wednesday. So come on out. Adult tickets $10. Kids get in free. Food trucks. The whole festivities you saw tonight. Back again on Wednesday. So non-conference game.
But then look at the schedule after that.
You got to host New Orleans.
You think you remember I said earlier just a little while ago about rubber meets the road?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. I say starting June 1st, the rubber is meeting the road.
Absolutely. You're going to have some angry hosts on June 10th ready to get at TSC.
And I imagine Jacksonville ain't going to be too friendly either.
Absolutely, because Jacksonville, they're going to want to try to impose their will because now they see Tallahassee continue to stay level with them, having tied them early in the season. So they're going to want to try to impose their will on TSC because they see themselves as the uncontested top dog year to year, which has proven out largely.
But here's the point, and you mentioned it a moment ago. 1 year ago, Tallahassee was 94th in the whole league across the nation. All right, the longer this goes, the more pressure is going to be on New Orleans. Pressures on Southern States, pressures on Jacksonville. You expect these three, Pensacola also, you expect New Orleans, Southern States, and Jacksonville to be the top 3. The longer Tallahassee stays in the running, the more pressure builds on those 3 teams to keep their position because otherwise it's the old case of a sneak. We're going to sneak around the chicken coop and we're going to be one of those teams that all right, you're going to let us hang around. We'll show you.
Yeah, of course, the longer you hang around, the more dangerous the underdog gets as the underdog season continues to roll on here. Still undefeated. Of course, update from around the league. We talked about the table and the positioning. New Orleans holds a 1-0 lead. They just started the second half out in New Orleans. They lead the Roots 1-0 in that contest. So, of course, if the table were to get set up, it would stay in this order. It would be Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Pensacola, Southern States, New Orleans, Roots would be your 1 to 6. But, this creates an interesting scenario. If Tallahassee continues to get results, this puts pressure on those, like you said, the rest of the conference, right? But because the last 2 years, it's been top 4 has been exactly the same. Jacksonville, Southern States, New Orleans, Pensacola, those 4 teams. Now there potentially is a new player involved in TSC.
Oh, there's a new player involved now.
So somebody is on the outside looking in of that kind of oligarchy of the conference. So now the conference base is being shaken right now by your boys in the capital city of the Sunshine State.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
How do you think Pensacola feels right now? I'll bet by now they have heard the score.
Yes.
They now know Tallahassee is legit. And
there you go.
They're gonna hang around. You don't think for 2 seconds. New Orleans, they even know their game's just now in the second half out yonder. Don't think they don't know by now what's happened here. They now know the pressure is on us now because there is a new player in the mix. And like I said, the longer Tallahassee stays in the mix, the pressure will build on the other 3.
The old guard.
The old guard. They're going to see there's a new kid in town. And this is going to get real interesting. And like I said, when the rubber meets the road, after May 24th, the next 4 games could very well be the season right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So much at stake. And TSC continuing to roll on 2 wins, 2 ties through 4 matches here on the season. Updated tables and information to come out to you here later tonight. I guess any more thoughts, Joe, before we put a bow on this one?
Just a great game. And like I said, they only had 3 shots on goal, but one's all it takes. And they were in the right place at the right time, and they took advantage of a Southern States mistake.
Absolutely.
Here, and great win for the coach, great win for the program, and even a great win for the city. Because I'll bet you Wednesday night you're going to see a fair more people in here Wednesday night now. Because now once this gets out, people are going to want to come see this.
Oh, yeah.
The curiosity factor is fixing to go ramp up.
Absolutely. Yeah, been averaging around 550, 600 plus fans.
You may have about 800 or so Wednesday night.
Plus, Albany not too far away. Could get some away fans coming down for the journey. This is our closest game. Any contest will be in Shawinigan's from Albany.
And I think you told me there's like 4 players that played here a year ago that's playing with
at least 4
with Albany. So there's a little friendly series here that could develop between the two.
Absolutely, should be fun. So one thing we want to point out in that regard, of course, with the upcoming home games, check out the schedule. Like you said, upcoming matches here for the rest of the season. So you see, let's talk home games, right? So you have Shawinigan's on Wednesday, then the next Thursday. So you get a weekend off, but then the Thursday following, you have New Orleans. So 2 more home games coming up, and then you got a couple of road games, like we said, 4 consecutive road games, and then the 2 8-5-0 Cup games at home to end and decide the Cup.
But like I said, starting June 1st, I got a feeling that's the season right there.
There you go, the corridor. So, in that light, come on out! Still many more home games. Kids are free. Gene Cox is going to host all the games. Food trucks, lots of fun, entertainment. We've seen it at halftime. Great community partners. Your organization, you're looking for a work party, you're looking for a kid's birthday, hit them up. All the information you need, tlhsoccerclub.com. Matt Wallace, officially the player of the game, announced on tlhsoccerclub.com. So shout out to Matt. Good Warrior effort for him. Former UNC Charlotte man. So I want to give a shout out to our boys over at Archangel Security Agency doing the security here tonight, the official security agency of Tallahassee Soccer Club. Archangel Security Agency is a local veteran-owned security guard company serving the greater Tallahassee area. We offer competitive rates. They offer competitive rates. But as part of the TSC family, it's a we, Joe. Armed and unarmed uniform guard services, course, protection details, public and private property, construction sites, apartment complexes. If you have those, you got to hit these guys up, dude. They've done a fantastic job so far in this young season. Of course, how about home watch services? You're going on vacation? Everybody goes on vacation in the summer. Have the boys at Archangel Security Agency take care of business here and make sure you are protected. Property threat evaluations and reduction. And Trent, we're going to have to get a hold of them. How do we do that, my man?
Yeah, you can reach us at phone number 442-288-9172 at archangelagencyfl.com or by email, the mailbag. You can email us at archangelagency.fl@gmail.com. Archangel Security, committed to excellence. State license B3200594. We got any other ones you need me to read off, Jude?
What do you want? Do it, dude.
Curly Girl Team. The Curly Girl Team, led by Corinne Johnston, has been connecting people with their forever home since 2014. Whether you're looking to buy or sell your home, let our expert realtor team help you find a unique solution that is perfect for you. Curly Girl Real Estate Team, Corinne Johnson. And then we've got one more here. We got Concrete Yeti. The Concrete Yeti specializes in decorative concrete finishes. Polished concrete, epoxy floors, overlays for pools, decks, and other outdoor spaces for unbelievable concrete finishes. Call the Yeti at 850-544-1307. Thank you to all of our wonderful 2023 community partners and sponsors here for the Tallahassee Battle Lines. We certainly appreciate you, and without you, we certainly wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now. So from the bottom of our hearts here at the Tallahassee Talk Podcast, we thank you.
And while we have a chance, we want to thank our wonderful 2023 community sponsors. For TSC, it couldn't be done without them. Archangel Security Agency, committed to excellence, state license number B3200594, the official security company of Tallahassee Soccer Club. The Southern Group, Ruvos, Corinne Johnson and the Curly Girl team, Bannerman Landscape, The Concrete Yeti, City of Tallahassee, Marquee Software, Grova Creative, and broadcast partner Varsity Sports Network Tallahassee. Don't forget the other ones: Smitty's Tap House, Michelle Arsenault, Young Actors Theater, DSG, Visit Tallahassee, TOC, Proof Brewing Company, Rabana and Ritchie, Tally Mac Shack, Envision Credit Union. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, TSC and community partners. Like we said, couldn't be done without you. Thank you for your funding and support and partnership for something truly uniquely Tallahassee and truly special. And we're back here, post-match action here, TSC and Southern States. Of course, thank you for coming aboard with us, however you may be doing so, from all the TSC Live crew. James Ward, Joe Ward, Trenton Young, Andrew Jute, we thank you for coming aboard with us here. Any final thoughts, Joe?
No, just great game.
Woo! Right
and
up.
now Tallahassee has shown the rest of the league they're for real.
For real, for real.
And now the old guard, the pressure is going to start building on them now.
Look out. So hopefully they can keep fighting, keep the battle line mentality rolling, and keep on trucking. Of course, if you're looking for some more TSC information, the place to go, Tallahassee Talk Podcast. Of course, new episode put out recently, able to talk to Coach Joel, preview this match. So, of course, this has been dated. So if you listen back to it, access it there at the QR code or go to Tallahassee Talk on the big 3 social media. You can get all the information. Of course, cool interviews, stories, news. If you're a Battle Lions fan or you're just looking for intel around the conference, hit it up at Tallahassee Talk. We'll get it going for you there. But all we have here at the final from Gene Cox Stadium, Tallahassee Soccer Club 1, Southern States Soccer Club 0. So thank you so much to all our sponsors. Like we said, everybody in support. Archangel Security Agency for doing fantastic security tonight. Once again, from our crew, thank you so much. TSC, we couldn't do it without our community partners here, and it has been a great ride. So thank you so, so much for everything you do for the community and for the team. For Andrew Jupe, Joe Ward, James Ward, Trenton Young, one more time. That's all we have here on TSC Live. Thank you for John and the gang to simulcasting us on the radio. I know we went over time, John, so hopefully you either cut us off or headed on your way home here, spend some time with the family. But that's all we have. 93.3 Real Talk Radio, simulcasting your TSC games live. Thank you for joining us for this TSC locally produced, locally broadcast for the TSC family here. Big, big result coming away from this one. That is all she wrote. Have a great rest of your weekend.